and 1080 AM, The Fan.
Swag back here. We've located one Andy Dirt Johnson. We're not on camera yet, but Dirt, it's bright and early. They're at Tom's Watch Bar. What's the watch like?
Swag? Good morning, buddy.
Morning.
Happy Friday of the tournament. Everything's going smoothly over here. We're off to a rip-roaring start.
We got our own version of madness here.
we do have a little bit of a version of madness. Yeah, look, I don't really know what we're going to do here in the short term. We're efforting to figure out how to get this situation resolved, but I don't know when that's going to be fixed. But, yeah, we are here. We're at Tom's Watch Bar hanging out. I don't know what the status will be for the next hour, so I'm going to make sure to get this in right now.
Yes.
Because we are live out at A Casino Resort for Fan Madness, and you can join us today for all of the action at Tom's Watch Bar. Fan Madness brought to you by A, Window Nation, George McCoy at Warren Allen Attorneys at Law, Cricket Wireless, and video only. So we're hanging out down here at Tom's Watch Bar. Obviously, no games on yet, so we're waiting till about 9:15. I will update you. Probably the most important part of the day is the can't lose, must win, don't forget to cash ticket parlay of the day that I did not get to yesterday. I got to acknowledge we're 3-0 on the first parlay of the week.
Excellent.
3-0. And it's coming down to 2 games this morning. I wanted to kind of wrap around the games last night and the games this morning. It was the first thing I did. Walked in, went straight over to the kiosk. If you haven't been to A, first off, having the watch party here and the fan out here today, which hopefully at some point today will be live on the air and the YouTube cameras will be up and all that. You cannot beat this spot. It's so fun. It gives you the Vegas vibe, the massive TVs, the games going on. I was standing next to a guy in an Oregon shirt that was cheering for a Texas team total yesterday as I was putting a ticket in. Every time they were making a shot, I'm like, what are you cheering for? Every time, I think they're going to win, man. I mean, you needed a certain amount of points. But you just walk over. They got these kiosks ready to go, and you can pick whatever you want for your parlays. Cook them up. It shows you the odds. You can add different games or change games. Like, it is so easy, man. So the setting is great. The vibe was awesome last night. Everybody was having a great time out here. And I got to be honest, Greg, I don't know what you talked about there at the opening segment because our heads are kind of going crazy right now.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, day one of the tournament, and I don't know how you felt, day one of the tournament felt like it was awesome. Like,
it
that
felt
was
like an old school tournament. Well, that's what I talked about. You guys talked yesterday as NIL killing the true Cinderellas. No, we got some Cinderellas yesterday. The question will be is how far may they keep going? But you had 6 lower-seeded teams win, 4 double-digit seeds, 12 seed the lowest. You had Duke almost blow it. Gonzaga struggled to get past Kennesaw State. So, yeah, it was everything you would have hoped for, unless your team particularly lost and messed up your bracket. But those of us who had Duke winning a title were sitting there for a good hour and a half sweating it until they finally woke up.
I mean, that would have been the biggest upset in the history of the tournament if it had happened. I mean, that would have been insane. And the way I kind of judge it day one, like, do you get upsets? Do you get games that you end up with the higher seeds winning, which is always fun, right? We had a handful of those. One of them in our backyard at the Moda Center, right? Like, the High Point game was one of the highlights of the day. The atmosphere looked great there, so that was really cool to see. And then it's also, like, for me, how engaged are you throughout the day? Like, how many times do you kind of mentally check out and, like, all right, these games are blowouts, or, I don't need to watch this one. And I really only had one gap, like, in the middle of the day after that Duke game ended that you talked about, which kept you all the way till the final buzzer because you're like, oh, my God, is this going to be the biggest upset in the history of the tournament? You had the Arkansas game, which was kind of a blowout, so there was like an hour breather in the middle of the day, but that's honestly perfect because it's you wake up, your 9:15 game start, so it's going to go on all day. So it's kind of nice to get a little breather of games that aren't necessarily coming down to the wire to give yourself a mental reset. And then the games last night, I mean, how about St. Louis just taking Georgia back behind the woodshed last night? I mean, they just dominated that game. I think they're easily the story of the tournament for me. I know it's not the highest seed to win, but what is it? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, their big center. They're jacking up threes. I mean, oh, my God, dude, that guy's awesome. And he's got finger rolls and sweet paint moves. So that was really cool. It ended up being a great first day of the tournament. And it was really fun to see. And, I don't know how many people in the audience were there yesterday or how many ended up going. We had kind of jokingly said, I wonder what the atmosphere will be for the games at the Moda Center. And it ended up being really good. Like, that first game of the day, it wasn't quite as packed as the rest of the day, which is to be expected because other fans are coming in for different sessions. But I saw videos all over social media yesterday of fans like lined up around the entire building trying to get in. So BYU fans were everywhere. Arkansas fans were everywhere. There was a decent Hawaii contingent. High Point pulls off that upset. Like, their fan base was there. And so you never want to be the place that you turn it on. You're like, the atmosphere isn't great there. That looks like kind of an empty arena. And that wasn't the case, man. That was so fun to see Portland kind of have a showcase game and one of the bigger upsets of the opening round. And it ended up being a great day in Portland. So I'm sure Saturday will be a lot of fun, and that will be awesome to see. So we are, quick update. I think we're getting close to figuring this out. We got Josh down here, and we're getting everything connected and ready to go.
Awesome.
So why don't we take a quick Sports Center update with Jason Swigard.
Oh, we're going to go early. Okay.
We'll get a nice little long bonus segment coming in, and I don't know about YouTube. We'll have to wait on that with the cameras and all that, but I believe we should be connected here relatively soon. So why don't we toss it to you for Sports Center Swag, and then hopefully on the backside, Sprague and I live down here at A&A.
Well, we'll do that. Well, thanks for hopping on real quick. I'm going to let you go, put you on hold, and then, we will take a quick break and come back. Hopefully we'll have the guys, at least sound-wise, going, and hopefully we'll get the video up here very shortly as the madness early in the morning. The guys are live out at Tom's Watch Bar. It's Fan Madness out at A-Lene. Let me get you an update, and we'll get right back, hopefully, while the boys here in just a moment.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. Day one of the NCAA tournament providing plenty of madness. 6 lower seeded teams pull upsets, including 2 11 seeds and 12 seeded High Point knocking off Wisconsin. Day 2 will begin at 9:15 this morning. 10 seeded Santa Clara and 7 seeded Kentucky on Coin 6. 9:40 a.m. on True TV. 12 seed Akron faces 5th seeded Texas Tech. 10:35 on TNT, the top seed Arizona and 16th seed Long Island U. And then at 10:50, it's 14th seed Wright State and 3rd seeded Virginia. The women's tournament begins today as well. 8th seeded Oregon will face 9th seed Virginia Tech in Austin, Texas. That is a 10:30 a.m. tip. We'll have coverage on sister station 910 ESPN Portland starting at 10 a.m. Blazer road trip stops in Minnesota tonight. They'll face the Timberwolves. 5 o'clock tip on KUNP Xfinity Channel 1016. Portland will start the night tied with the Clippers for 8th in the West. The T-Wolves are without Anthony Edwards and just a 2.5-point favorite. Round 2 of the Valspar Championship, Innisbrook Resort Copperhead course. Everybody's chasing Sungjae Im. He had a 7 under 64 in round 1. Right now on the course, David Lipsky and Doug Gim have got it to 6 under. Brant Snedeker will be at 6 under when he tees off. Jordan Spieth just 2 back at 5 under. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube.
Okay. Good morning, Dusty. How are you?
Nothing to do with being on air at this time.
No, he had just rolled over in bed. I think my phone call about 30 minutes ago woke him up of, hello, what's going on? Well, we got a bit of a situation on our hands here, Brandman, but we've resolved it. We're ready to roll.
So does he just wake up and send a 5 a.m. email? Because he sent us an email
question.
at 5:15, and I was like, oh, okay, he's awake, he's ready to go. And he called me, and he sounded asleep.
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe it was a timed email. He wanted us to see it right before the show started and not get buried overnight. But I already got that read in, so we're dialed.
I got to be honest, it's great to be out here at A.
Yes, it is.
Got here kind of late. I had a reservation yesterday. Got here like right up to the reservation time.
Right.
Check in, get dinner. I got P. Harris texting me at almost 9 o'clock last night. You want to come hang out? I'm like, dude,
no.
No, I have to wake up at 4:30 tomorrow. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I got the text from Harris about 8:45 last night. Hey, me, Sook, the boss, we're all hanging out down here at the sportsbook. Why don't you come hang? And I said, look, I appreciate the invite. Always nice to get it. You know, you want to be invited to things. But that ain't happening, brother. I'm already in bed. I got my boxers on, and we're watching the end of Gonzaga, Kennesaw State to make sure that I'm ready to rock and roll in the morning.
I'm not mad at the invite. And I hear what you're saying about, like, it's nice to get the invite.
Hey, fire one away.
But, like, I'm in this moment, and if I'm at a sports book and it's me and 4 coworkers,
yeah,
I don't think I'm texting anybody. If you're there, you're there. And if you're not,
if you're part of the hang, you're part of the hang.
If
not, you just kind of sometimes you miss it. 2 ships passing in the night.
But we are live out here at A, hanging out this morning. Running a little late. That's okay. I'll tell you this. I was nervous. I was a little concerned. I thought we had a coworker that might have been dead.
We were not sure. We couldn't get a hold of him. We were trying to. We just were glad that he's okay.
Dude, his phone was on silent, so his alarm didn't go off when it needed to. I ran to the front desk lobby after I think it was like 6:05, and I go to the lady and I give her the name, and she calls his phone, and she's calling, and she hangs up. He didn't answer. Like, can you call again? Calls. No answer. Calls again. No answer. And I'm like, oh my God!
We almost had a really bad situation on our hands.
If the hotel phone does not wake you up,
because that's not like, it's one thing to fall asleep with your phone on silent, because everybody's made that mistake before and you just can't hear it, and then you wake up and you're like, what the hell did I miss? What's going on here? It's another thing when the hotel phone's not getting answered. That's when the worry starts to happen.
Well, and also he was one of the people at the hang last night. I'm like, oh my God, how wild did last night get?
Damn it, Cooley, this is all your fault. All right, one more final late on a Thursday.
Yeah.
We got to be prepared. It's day 2 of the tournament. Let's go.
It is day 2 of the tournament. We're live out at A hanging out. Come hang out today. I know a lot of people were hanging out yesterday for the NCAA tournament, as they do, as it's the best place to watch the NCAA tournament.
Yes, it is.
Because you get to gamble on the games you're actually watching instead of having to be on a sports book on your phone and, have to call somebody in Nicaragua and say, hey, can I get my money? A lot easier this way.
It's right over there. You just walk it right over to that desk, right about 50 yards away from us, and you hand them your winning ticket. You're cashed out, ready to go.
Well, I got to be honest. I was a little bummed because yesterday was like my day.
Yeah.
And I didn't lay any bets. I'm ready to die here. We got a chair just falling over here. What are we doing? I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm thrown off. Happy Friday.
It would have been delightful if that chair just fell over. That would have been an all-time highlight on YouTube.
Super lumpy.
We got a lot of curtains here behind us.
We do. I don't think I'm stable.
Yeah, you're gonna still teeter.
I'm gonna go down at some point. I'm just gonna go down.
Just go down with the ship, baby.
But yesterday was my day.
Yeah.
High Point Panthers.
High Point Panthers are ready to go.
The 12 over the 5.
Yep.
Swag was telling me how good Wisconsin was.
Yep. Get out of here.
Which makes me nervous on the Santa Clara bet.
I need Santa Clara today, Swagger. Don't you let me down. If the parlay loses and Santa Clara is the reason for it, I'm not going to let you forget that one.
Good. How many legs have you hit so far?
I hit 3 of 5 yesterday.
3 of the 5?
At the end of the night. I would have hit 4, but they won't let me gamble on Gonzaga games here. But I love, what was Kennesaw State? Like a 30-point underdog, 25-point underdog?
Yeah.
Dude, they covered that number.
Oh, no, I think it was like 17.
Either way, they covered the damn number because that game was relatively competitive.
They damn near won that thing.
They did. It was a little uncomfortable late. Yeah. So it comes down to this morning for me. I need Santa Clara money line over Kentucky, and I rolled the dice on Akron money line.
Money line?
Money line Akron over Texas Tech. So I am a Santa Clara and Akron win away from the can't lose, must win. Don't forget to cash parlay, cashing.
That Akron money line has to be tasty.
Oh, it's
doesn't it?
tasty, baby. It's
Yeah.
tasty. And I started with St. Louis last night. That was my launching point into the night.
Yeah.
St. Louis was
Chamberlain.
Dude, they are the team of the tournament. Of
No.
all the teams that I want to go on a run.
They are the team?
Look, High Point's got a great story with one player. St. Louis was fun to watch, man. Like
They
that team,
clobbered them.
dude, they were up and down. They were shooting threes, playing with tempo. Georgia had no clue what the hell was going on.
Dude, the SEC should be embarrassed.
They absolutely should. Although they did have the Texas win over DeBonsa.
I mean, is that really a great win? BYU is kind of floundering into the tournament where it's like Texas is, Texas. They at least got talent on it.
We had phenomenal.
The fighting Jordan Popes, by the way.
The fighting Jordan Popes.
I forgot he was at Texas.
I had the same thought. When he hit a three in the second half, I'm like, oh, that's right. Jordan Pope. He went to Texas.
Yep.
It was funny, though, because there was a great day of audio. One of the clips that I forgot to send Swag, because we had a mid-major coach just start ranting and raving about how great his team is and how big the cowards the quad one teams are, which I love, dude. Take your shots when you win. We had a major coach with some of the dumbest answers after a blown lead that I've ever heard. We have a player admitting something at halftime that I've never heard a player admit, and it's like, oh my God, he just say that out loud. One of the ones, though, I forgot to send to Swag, and maybe you did, so I hope I'm not getting in the way of it. Did you see Sean Miller when he was asked in the middle of the game about guarding DeBonsa?
It was the first time out, and they were like, what do you do? DeBonsa has 14, and he goes, there's nothing.
I'm going to keep it real with you. There's nothing we can do.
He wasn't wrong.
It was like, no.
DeBonsa scored 35 of their 71.
We just got to stop fouling him.
Yeah.
He's going to get his. We have a nice night offensively. We'll win, but I'm just going to be honest with you. We're not stopping that guy all night. I appreciated the honesty.
I always love there's always two ways to view this when you have a team like that. You either say, make anybody beat us, or you just say, that guy's going to score 30 to 40.
Let him go.
And you shrug your shoulders and say, literally nobody else on the team can beat us. Which I think I'd rather have that. I'd rather have DeBonsa score 35 of 70.
And don't give other guys open looks because you're doubling him the entire night, and then some other random dude gets hot and ends up torching you.
He took 25 shots to get 35 points. Like, that's not the most efficient night. It's not awful, but yeah, I'd rather live with that than say, like, I don't know, Joe Blow, the guard on BYU that nobody's heard of, had randomly 29 points and went off. Like that.
Who the hell's this cap?
Yeah, because that means DeBonsa's distributing and having more of a level, game overall. I'd rather him just go off and shoot all the shots.
It worked for Texas last night.
It did work for Texas. Another one I nailed. I had Texas in the play-in, picked them.
This is why you got to get here early, get that parlay cooked in,
Well,
man.
that's why you got to pick the playing games too. Stop being cowards. You got to say, if I think Texas is going to win the play-in and their first game, I'm putting Texas in the round of 32.
I was saved. I was the opposite of you because I had a couple of games in the window where I thought I was going to get here in time to put them in my parlay.
Right.
But I didn't get here in time in order to do it, and it ended up saving me. Like I had St. Mary's money line in my mind over Texas A&M.
Oh,
that didn't happen.
brutal.
And I think there was one other one that I was looking at that I liked, and I didn't end up having time to bet it because, again, I didn't get here in time. So I was actually saved by the later arrival and just doing the night games last night. And now we get a root for another one today. We already got a guy over here putting his first parlay in of the day. He's been scrolling the big screen for like 15 minutes looking for different games to bet on.
He's not the first one. I've seen like
you've seen
7.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, let's just call a spade a spade. Our extraordinary engineer. We love him.
Yes.
Good dude. Like one of the all-time good dudes. He had a struggle bus this morning.
He did, yeah.
And when he rolled up, and
this one was not our fault.
And he had the gravelly, sorry. I was like, oh, man, he had himself a nice little Thursday night.
He did. I think he had a lot of fun down here, which everybody's having a lot of fun down here. I'm just glad we finally made it on the air because we were a little worried that somebody had passed away, but he's alive. He's here.
But when I had to walk the hotel lobby, the front desk is... It's a little bit of a hike from where we're at.
Yeah, it's about the other side of the hotel.
So I'm going complete opposite side of the hotel. So I'm going through where all the slots and the games are, right? Man, I'll tell you this much. The card and the craps table people, like they're down here, they're having a good time.
Communicating, you're talking.
Yeah, they're kind of lively. They're having fun. We were looking for a Hank. And obviously the way the show is going now, I don't think we're going to be able to have a Hank today.
No, I think our Hank window is closed.
But what I would say is if there was ever a Hank, like somebody that's going to really be a character where you go, what is your deal? It was going to be on the game floor. It was going to be in the slot machine area.
Somebody just over there just tapping the screen.
There is a guy, and I bet you he's still there, slapping that slot machine button. And he is jamming to the rock music that machine is just pumping out. It's like... and he's like going back and forth with his body as he's slapping the machine, and I'm
gotta
like,
do it to the beat, man.
dude. I mean,
you got to make love to the machine if you want it to pay you out. That's rule 101 of
I
playing
want to know
slots.
what's the story there. Why are you the guy at 4:50 a.m. jamming to the rock music that's going on a slot machine in Ridgefield, Washington by yourself? I want to know that story.
You know what they call that, Sprague? They call that living the dream right there, buddy.
Well, you
All
could-
right?
yeah,
They
you
call
certainly
that
could say that.
Living the dream. My first song that I heard walking down into the lobby this morning, it is fun not having to commute to work. It's great. You just wake up, kind of get your stuff settled in your room, take the elevator down. You're like, all right, here we go. We're ready to roll.
Underrated great, by
Just
the way.
delightful, dude. We should, I'm going to move above our building so I don't have to commute again. First song I heard, though, I don't know what I don't know the artist, but it reminded me of like the Bad Bunny halftime show. It was, Hispanic,
Little salsa-ish.
upbeat. I
Yeah.
didn't understand any of the words, but I'm just kind of bobbing along as I'm walking over here to do the show. And I just like, God, they got me. They already got me. I just walked down to the lobby. I'm already bobbing my head. I went from being like, I'm mildly tired. It's a Friday. All right, let's get up, get going. And then you walk down here and there's oxygen pumping and you hear the beat going. I'm like, dude, all right. I don't think I need a coffee today, man.
Yeah, so I didn't get to. I showered yesterday before I got here.
Sure.
And the wife ended up showering later, but she showers. She's not gonna shower. I was like, I showered before we got here. Like I exercised. I wasn't going to show up to the.
I already showered.
We had a nice dinner last night. I
Yeah.
was going to show up to a nice dinner
A
all
little sweaty.
gross.
You got some wet socks on. That's moist, dude.
But I did say, like, if I wake up at 4:30, because I can wake up a little later today, and I wanted to get down here early, like, dude, I'm not going to have a hotel room and not see the shower situation.
You got to take a shower.
So 4:30, I got up. I was a little tired. Turned that bad boy on.
Turn that hot water
I was
on
in the shower
you?
for 5-10 minutes, dude. Just standing there, letting it beat down on me. I'm like, yeah, that's it right there.
This is the life. Next year, I'd like to request maybe some sort of sauna in the room. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
maybe
that'd
get
be
somebody
great.
down here that starts giving some massages during the show. Massage whatever you want.
During the show?
Yeah, like, we're just a little tense. At 9:15,
I couldn't do that.
I got a parlay on the line, dude. Last 45 minutes of the show are going to be a little stressful for me.
Dude.
Somebody come rub my back.
By the way, speaking of massages, me and my wife might have looked like the weirdest people in the world last night. So we're sitting in our bed. I've got Gonzaga Kennesaw State on.
Yes.
Right? It's probably like the start or almost midway point of the second half. So it's a pretty good game.
It's a great game, yeah.
And I don't know anything about Kennesaw State, right? I know this Gonzaga team isn't quite other Gonzaga teams, and it's a tight one. The wife brings these goggles that heat and massage your eye and temple area. And you got to put them over your head. And
To help
they
you sleep, like to calm you down before bed?
Well, yeah. I mean, you put them over. It looks like virtual reality goggles.
Ah, okay.
And you put them on, and you hit a button, and you just sit there for 10 minutes, and your eyes are being rubbed. Yeah, and it's like, hello. And then like the heat is going over your eyeballs.
Okay.
And I'm having this happen while I'm listening to the play-by-play of and I'm like, what a dunk by Gonzaga! And I'm like, wish I could see it. But I enjoyed the massage so much that I wasn't taking that bad boy off. So we had two adults sitting upright in bed,
Listening to the game on the television,
Listening to a
not
basketball
watching
game.
the game, getting your temples massaged.
looking like a guy from Star Trek having his eyes massaged.
I'm not opposed to it. If she wakes up in time, bring him down, dude. I'll put him on during the show. I could use a little temple rub.
I think you'd be shocked how great they are.
How nice it
You'd be like,
feels.
holy crap, we need to buy one of these.
It's like microwaving my eyelids too
Yes.
on top of it.
Dude, it feels
I'm all
so
about
good. I melted into it.
I'm
but,
all about it.
we got a lot to get to today. We're running a little behind. We apologize for not being live to you at 6 a.m. or 6:02 in the Rose City, as some would say. But we're here. We're hanging out at Tom's Watch Bar. We already have a line for people to get a good table for today.
We do, yeah. They're getting ready to go.
I'm going to have to lay a bet. I think I'm going to go all underdogs and add Arizona money line, which is like a minus a million.
Massive, massive favorite.
And it gets to like plus 637.
Did you see, by the way, Rod Strickland, who was playing Arizona,
Yeah.
the coach of Long Island Blazer legend, he was asked about Pitino from his playing days, because Pitino's been around for so long. He called him the Don Dada of college basketball.
He is the Don Dada.
Which is just
That's
perfect.
a perfect way to say
He's
Rick Pitino.
He's the man.
A lot to get to. Let's start with some of the games. We'll go through them. The ones that we really stuck out to us. We'll get to some one program that I think is in huge trouble, and I think they need to react properly to it. But will they? I don't know. We had a good upset yesterday in Portland.
Yes, we did.
And we got the student radio call. Why would you go with the real radio guy when you can go get a student who paid his own way to Portland, Oregon, USA?
That's right.
And made a call. So we'll get to all of that. It's going to be a fun show. Hanging out, Dirt and Sprague here live out of Tom's Watch Bar at A&A. Back with more on 105.1 The Fan.
the Fan's YouTube channel. FM and 1080 AM. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back in. Dirt and Sprague with you, live from Tom's Watch Bar at A on a beautiful Friday. Hope your Friday's going well. Good morning to everybody commuting out there, and good morning to everybody on their way to hang out at A. We got people lining up already for tables.
Yes. By the way, our guy cooking up his parlay over here is still there. Still there. I'm
rush him, dude.
I'm not rushing.
You're judging him.
He's
a little
the
bit.
only one over there. I just want to go ask him I'm just curious what's in the parlay. I want to know what he's cooked up.
It'd be really dope to have like a mobile microphone where
Yeah,
you
walk
could
around.
walk over there.
Let me go see. All right, what are we looking
Yeah,
at?
and
Who we
then
got
we get
so
him
far?
on,
Okay, we
like-
got this team, we got that team. What are the games are we looking at? We got futures bets in here.
And then
what are we cooking?
And then he he tells you he has, and you go, really? You make him second guess himself.
Dude, seriously? That's what you took? What, are you crazy?
A lot to get to today. Let's start with one of the big upsets we had yesterday, and that was the High Point Panthers.
One of the highlights of the day.
I tried to warn you guys.
You did?
I tried to tell you the High Point Panthers were not to be messed with, and their head coach Flynn Clayman came in here, and his Fighting Panthers. Boy, talk about a game that both won and choked away.
Yes.
Like, if you tell me High Point won that game, I'd say, yeah. But if you also said Wisconsin choked that game, I'd say, yeah, that's also true. And so that happened on both sides, but High Point is the 12 over the 5. They're hanging around, and then it's 82-78. And, Andy, I never did play-by-play in college. I thought about doing it, and I just was like, I don't think I'm going to be good. I like doing the radio stuff a little bit more. You got a little more freedom to do what you want. But I knew a lot of people that did do play-by-play in college. I'm doing a radio show with somebody that did softball and soccer play-by-play in college.
Check the tape, baby. I rocked.
High Point had student broadcasters at this game.
They did.
And they got themselves out here. That's the thing about student radio that's cool, is those kids have to pay their own way out. And people caught wind of the final couple seconds. So it's 82-78 when we start this clip. Here is the High Point student radio call in the final few baskets and moments of yesterday's 12 over 5.
Anderson, driving, step back. In circles now, Johnson catch and shoot. That's what they needed. Timeout. Timeout. Portland. Do you believe it? Takes it inbounds. 9 seconds. Boyd wants it inside. Try. 6 seconds. Block. Now Boyd, they launch down court. Anderson gets it. Throw on the glass slipper. It's a Cinderella story in Portland, Oregon. For the first time in program history, High Point breaks through. We will see you in the round of 32. Oh, what a feeling.
That's Jimmy Rosselli and Griffin Wright.
I love the put on the glass slipper.
Oh,
that's such a good. Portland, do you believe?
And we'll see you in the round. That was High Point's first tournament win.
They never
NCAA
won
tournament
one.
win.
We had a couple of those yesterday.
We did.
That was, look, the student radio guys are always great. When you see the college kids get a chance to experience that, that's something they'll remember for the rest of their lives. And who knows where their careers are going. It's still a very cool story. The story of the game, though, and I almost am ashamed that I'm not aware of this guy prior to yesterday. Chase Johnston on High Point, outside of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is, or Larry Nerd, or whatever we want to call him for St. Louis. There's two feature athletes of the day yesterday, Milt Chamberlain and Chase Johnston, because Chase Johnston, I had no clue that this was happening until the end of the game. He had the breakaway layup that was the game-winning bucket.
Yes.
And on the call, it was Brad Nessler. I think it was in Portland.
Nessler,
Brad Nessler goes, that's his first made two-point field goal of the season. So I'm thinking to myself, like, is this guy, did he sit on the bench all year? What's the backstory here?
Yeah.
I had no idea that this was a cat who all season long played 10 minutes, basically a game, and he just came in and shot threes. That's all he did. Until that layup at the end of the game, he had attempted 4 shots inside the three-point line all season long. 4, and he was 0 of 4. And that was the first make all year of a 2-point field goal, and it was the deciding bucket in an NCAA tournament game.
It's a remarkable stat to hear out loud. Also, to just add a little bit to it.
What a dream, dude.
Add a little seasoning to the stat.
Give me a little spice.
He didn't take a dribble.
No,
it was an extended breakout pass that he just caught, took 2 steps, and did the finger roll layup.
He also hit like his logo 3, because I think they were down by 8 with about 3 minutes left or whatever it was.
At that point,
dude, he after one caught a ball and just heaved it from the logo. It was Lillard range at the Moda Center, and he drained it, and you're like, oh, all right, I guess we got a game on our hands. And it totally flipped the momentum of everything that was happening. And that it was cool to have the upset of the day be in our backyard and be in Portland. Like that was awesome. And the crowd atmosphere, you could hear it on the student radio call. They were super loud.
Oh, so okay, I want to get to that. You thought that was the upset of the day?
I mean, yeah, I think so.
Okay, because
am I forgetting a pretty obvious option
well, the
here?
VCU 19-point comeback and an 11-6
That was huge.
I mean, it's historically amazing.
It's never, nobody's ever blown a 19-point lead in a tournament game, so that was big for sure.
We'll get to that, but here is High Point's coach. He, like, quite character, this Flynn Clayman.
Dude, this guy was talking his ass. They got the win, and he said, hand me the mic. I'm about to write back.
He felt pretty good. Here was his on-court post-game interview right after his team pulls the upset.
It looks pretty obvious to me that high majors need to play mid-majors during the season because they said we ain't played nobody. We played somebody now.
How'd you do it?
Feels unreal because I know how good of a team we had, but nobody would play us, just like they wouldn't play Miami, Ohio. But they got to play us in this tournament.
Coach, you were down by 10 early on. What changed?
We just settled in. We settled in. We got a hell of a team. We settled in.
Here he is in the postgame, too.
He kept going, man. He did not stop.
At the podium, letting you know, like, we were not to be messed with this year.
It's pretty obvious to me that something needs to be done about this non-conference scheduling. High Point and Miami, Ohio are 2-0 in quad one games. We couldn't get games. They couldn't get games. Akron couldn't get games. UNCW couldn't get games. Belmont couldn't get games. We won 22 of our last 23 games, and we didn't move up one spot in the metrics. Not one. We won 22 of our 23. We've won 25 games by double digits. That team right there is a fantastic team that beat 5 top 10 teams.
Yep.
If we can get games like this on neutral courts and some home games, I think we'd know who's really the best teams. I'm proud of these dudes, and we're not just here to win one game. We're here to get to the Sweet 16.
I will say, that is such a – I mean, I love a coach when he's willing – like, we won the game. Talk your ass.
Yep. Victor go the spoils.
He's also not wrong. Like, a lot of these bigger programs are avoiding him. Miami, Ohio pointed this out of, like, how many teams were ducking them and not agreeing to it.
And then you get at the end of the year, Bruce Pearl saying, well, you didn't play anybody. It's like, well, we tried. It's not our fault. Nobody's going to play us.
Yeah, and High Point is one of these programs. I would also add this, much in like college football, the way we talk about it. Dude, I would love to see some of these power conferences go to places like High Point. And you're like, who the hell is High Point? And
It'd be great for the sport, man.
It'd be really good for the sport because mid-majors – you know what? Yesterday, we talked about Cinderellas going into the tournament, and I'd have to actually go see how many upsets by technical definition we had.
There wasn't that many.
But when the mid-majors win, it just makes the tournament 6. Thank you. So that's
but
less
it's also
than last
like,
year.
Is Texas over BYU? Like, are we just talking mid-majors or higher seed beating a lower
higher
seed?
seed beating lower seeds.
Because Texas beat BYU is an upset technically, but I don't, that to me is a little bit different than a High Point or a VCU or a, St. Louis winning a game, although the St. Louis, Georgia was a closer matchup than Texas BYU because it's an 8-9.
Yeah, I think the mid-majors winning, it just makes it so much more, I don't know, there's just some life to the tournament. That you need those to happen more and more. We want the better teams at the back end, no doubt. But I need the High Points and the VCUs and I need those programs. Siena almost beating Duke. Give that to me in the first few rounds.
Absolute insanity that they almost lost yesterday. Just insane that they kicked. It'd be the greatest walk through that entire game and still found a way to win.
It would have been the greatest win or upset in college basketball history, and I don't know if it'd be particularly close. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. We have a lot to get to in the second hour of the program. Dirt and Sprague, Hour 2 live out at Alien A. Tom's Watch Bar for the NCAA tournament rolling on a Friday. Back with more Hour 2, 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2, Dirt Sprague here. 105.1 The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, and YouTube. We are on YouTube, correct?
We are.
Okay,
yes, we are.
Hello. Hi, YouTube.
Hello.
We're hanging out at A. Tom's Watch Bar for day 2 of the NCAA tournament. And obviously, we'll react to a lot of what happened yesterday, and then get you a little peekaboo of what's going to happen today. We had a 60-point game in the NBA last night.
Yes, we did. An MVP chance coming out of it.
Dude, we had a walk-off game winner from a 7-4 alien.
Yes, we did.
So we'll talk a little bit about that at some point. But Swag, I hate to ask you to do this. Could you hit the breaking news sounder for me, please? Can we get the breaking news drop here? And
hang on, I got to flip.
Got actual legitimate breaking news I need to pass along to actually have. Yep. I hate to be the one to report this. We were the first show in 105.1 FM fan history. We are the first show in 105.1 FM fan history to announce Chuck Norris has died at the age of 86.
Oh, really? Seriously died? I was wondering why you had a picture of Chuck Norris up on your computer.
He had a medical emergency in Hawaii.
Oh, no.
And TMZ is reporting that Chuck
Say
Norris...
it ain't so, Chuck Norris.
8 minutes ago, Chuck Norris is dead at the age of 86.
R.I.P. Chuck Norris.
Wow. Dude, of all the people, I would have thought he lived the longest.
Yeah, I mean, I would have just assumed he was never going to die because he's Chuck Norris.
I thought he would kill death.
Yeah, that's basically how I thought that would play out.
That's crazy.
This says, 21 hours ago, hospitalized.
Well, scroll down.
Okay, keep scrolling. Yeah, find my new TMZ. That's horrible, dude. R.I.P. to Chuck Norris, man.
Chuck Norris.
An all-time television legend.
Man.
One of the most iconic characters ever. I mean, spawned how many different sayings and jokes, and, one of the most played-on names of all time. R.I.P. to an American icon.
I still occasionally will hum his little tune.
How do you not, dude? It's so catchy.
That's where the Rangers gonna be. I love that one.
Yeah, you're right. Died at 86. I mean, 86 is a great run. I didn't realize he was that old. Because when you say Chuck Norris dying, man, my first thought is when I look at the picture, I'm like, damn, he's too young to die. I didn't realize he was 86 years old.
I think the photo you're looking
Texas
at
Ranger
was when he was actually Walker, Texas Ranger, and not.
Yeah, have we seen him out and about in recent years? Is he out there not looking good?
I saw a photo of him a couple of years ago, and he just looked like a late 70s-year-old guy or something.
He also seems like the kind of guy that was having enough work done where he was gonna.
He was aging well.
He was gonna look decent until the day he passed. Like, you're dyeing that hair, you're dyeing your beard. Actually, yeah, you got a little white there, a little white in the beard.
Got a little old at some point, but still rocking it. Don't forget also the
Walker, Texas Ranger, man.
The workout videos too.
Yes, how could you forget
the late night infomercials? Yes. Is that Walker, Texas Ranger?
You're damn right it is. And yes, I do want to get ripped like Walker, Texas Ranger. I'd love to do that workout.
R.I.P. Chuck Norris. A lot to get to in the second hour of the radio program. We may have to pay more tribute to Walker, Texas Ranger.
We might have to, yeah.
As that comes across the wire. So I want to start the second hour. We had a couple upsets yesterday. Swag noted in our ear. We had 6 technical upsets of a higher seed beating a lower seed. We talked about High Point. We haven't gotten to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the Fighting Billikens of St. Louis, who just
took Georgia behind the woodshed. That game was over with 5 minutes to go in the first half.
I'll give you a bit of a take here. I think if you are an SEC conference team and you lose by 30 points. What are they, an A-10 team, St. Louis? Is that where they play, the A-10?
I believe so. Yes, correct.
Yeah. If an A-10 team beats you by 30 in the NCAA tournament, you deserve to lose 3 automatic bids next year. You do not get 10 teams in next year. You have lost the privilege of 3 teams getting in. I need more mid-majors next year if you're going to lose by 30 points to Milk Chamberlain. But
that was really the only down moment for the SEC, unfortunately, so I feel like we should just take it out on Georgia, because I think they were the only SEC team to lose, right? Because Arkansas won, A&M won, Texas won, Vanderbilt won. I had McNeese in my bracket.
Kentucky plays today.
And played. So some teams haven't played yet, so it might get a little bit worse for them. To your point, though, I feel like we should just take it out on the team and not the conference. That's a 2-year tournament ban for Georgia.
I agree.
2-year ban.
I'm with you.
2-year show cause. You're not allowed to compete.
Yep.
Just shut it down, and we'll see you in 3 years.
Let's start the second hour. Not with Chuck Norris.
R.I.P.
Not with the Fighting Billikens. North Carolina blew a 19-point lead yesterday.
Yes, they did. The largest ever blown lead in an NCAA tournament game, I believe. Did I read that correctly? It was either first round or ever. I don't know if it was, but that was It was historic.
It's the 6th largest comeback in NCAA tournament history. They were down 56-37, the Rams were, with 13:50 to play.
You can't lose that game. Their social media account sent out a tweet that just aged horribly.
Was it something like handling business or something?
It was basically a picture of a kid celebrating on the floor, the fans going crazy behind him, and it just said, up 19 at the moment, no big deal, or something like that. Moments before disaster. Oopsies.
I hope somebody out here at the sportsbook yesterday went and live bet VCU just out of like the odds, because the odds had to have been like plus 10,000 at that point.
You see that big of a spread? Like, why the hell not? Throw $5 on it.
So VCU comes back from 19 and beats North Carolina. By the way, told you VCU would beat North Carolina. Didn't know it happened like that, but not shocked. North Carolina was not very good, in my opinion, this year. They had the Duke win. Other than that, just kind of meh. I don't think they have a good coach. I don't think Hubert Davis is the dude. I think we've known that for a couple years, but he's the head coach and he's the alum, and so there's a thing here. I told you I texted Richmond this during the Clemson beatdown, and they ended up coming back at that game of like, this is the fire Hubert Davis game.
Yeah.
And, well, I got to wonder now, like, what point is it the fire Hubert Davis game? Because you cannot blow a 19-point lead in the NCAA tournament against an 11-seeded VCU Rams. They have a good history, but they're an 11 seed. And Hubert Davis in the postgame, you said you sent Swag this audio.
He's got this, some funny back and forth.
Hubert Davis in the postgame after North Carolina's 19-point blown lead.
Got a little bit tired there?
I did not. I didn't.
Hubert, why did you go to just a 6-man rotation in the second half?
Because that was my decision.
Coach, what do you think went wrong?
What do you mean?
Hubert, the free throws again, as you mentioned, a little bit of an issue tonight. Why do you think that was such an issue for your team throughout the season?
That's a great question. I mean, we work on them, and
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
How come when he said, what do you mean, the guy didn't say, you blew a 19-point lead?
There's a longer answer to that. That was like somebody just clipped out basically quick answers and responses. Yeah. But the answer wasn't any better because he went on basically saying, that's just, what do you mean? We just didn't make shots. That just happens sometimes. Doesn't mean we're playing bad basketball.
Yeah.
Like, you had a 19-point lead in the opening round of the tournament. You blew it, man.
Dude, North Carolina needs to fire him.
I mean, it's
over.
He got off to such a good start that it bought him, because remember, year one for him was knocking off Coach K in the Final Four in the Caleb Love game.
Team, though.
I know. You're 100% spot on. And then it was NIT invitation year 2. They turned it down, didn't want to go. Year 3, they got to the Sweet 16, and then back-to-back years now where you're out in the first round of the tournament. And that's just like, at North Carolina, there are higher standards than that, than losing in the first round of the tournament. And so if you don't fire him now, I don't really know what you're waiting for. They had a nice win in the regular season over Duke, and it felt like it was going to be a launching point for their year. And then every other game they played the rest of the year down the stretch that was of any meaning, they ended up losing, and a lot of them in a lopsided fashion. That was embarrassing yesterday.
Well, I mean, they would point to Caleb Wilson getting hurt and being out, right? And they'd be like, well, we lost Caleb Wilson. He's probably going to be the 4th pick in the NBA draft or a top 5 pick at minimum, right? So, but like that, to me, I've watched a lot of Hubert Davis.
You didn't have him when you built the 19-point lead either, so how were you able to build a 19-point lead?
Also, your Duke win, you won it at the buzzer. Like, it wasn't like you beat Duke pretty convincingly. You had to come back, and then you hit a shot literally at the buzzer to walk off win it. Otherwise, I don't know, man. It's one of the biggest blue bloods in the sport. It is.
You might have 2 open. Like, depending on what happens with Kentucky today.
Oh, Kentucky.
Syracuse, too, if you want to throw Syracuse in the mix there. Like, there's some massive openings right now.
Syracuse is an interesting one. I know historically they've been around for most of our lives, right? People our age or even a little older. I don't know if they're quite Kentucky, Carolina, but definitely in the conversation of one of those, like, this program should be good, what's going on. According to Boeheim, who just outed everything because he hated that they fired the coach, their NIL sucks.
Yeah.
And they didn't invest in the right players, and so that's out of whack. Kentucky firing Mark Pope won't shock me. It'd be really quick. It'd be a rash decision, but also I kind of get it, especially with Calipari, rolling at Arkansas right now. North Carolina has kind of known that Hubert Davis is not good for 3 seasons now, and I get that he's an alum, and that changes kind of the dynamics of this, but you got to have higher standards. And look, upsets happen. Duke almost lost to Siena yesterday. I want to talk about that game, but
they did.
They didn't. They ended up winning the game. And so if you're North Carolina, you are a program that I think has the capabilities of pulling a coach from a program. Like, I'm not saying that Tommy Lloyd or Dusty May would leave for their situations. They got great situations. But you're North Carolina. You should be at a level that goes, hey, why don't you leave that great program for a better one? Like, that's how you should be looking at yourselves. I don't know if they are. They're going through a stadium problem right now. And so, I don't know. The whole thing just seems really odd. And you're talking to people who are diehard Carolina fans. Richmond's like, they're going to keep him forever. And I'm like, why? Why would you just settle with being meh?
Seems like a mistake. I know it didn't end great under Roy Williams, but it also was in the shadow of the COVID window when he was up there in age. And it's one thing to be upset in the tournament, but to look at the program and say you're one of the best in the sport and you're run really well. Like, a random game is going to happen, and you never want to overreact too much to a one-game sample size. Like, we talked about this with Metcalf of the No Ceilings pod about evaluating players in the tournament and come draft time, like how much weight do you put on the bigger and important tournament games? And he said, look, it's just a part of the puzzle. But that's what it is for Hubert Davis, that if Duke loses yesterday, it's embarrassing. It's an all-time, like, oh, my God, how did that happen moment. One of the worst losses in the history of the tournament. But what is the structure right now of the Duke program? They have the number one recruiting class in the country every year. They're bringing in 3 5-stars that come in that are immediately lottery picks. And I'm not saying that North Carolina doesn't have lottery picks on their roster anymore, but just look at the overall health of Duke and North Carolina. Who's the healthier program? Even if Duke loses yesterday, that's an embarrassing loss. It doesn't change the overall feeling around the program and what Shire is doing there. And that's not the case for North Carolina. It's one thing if you come into the tournament as a 2 seed and you were dominant in the ACC all year, and, hey, we just had a bad game or some random dude on a school I've never heard of went for 35 points and they beat us. That's not the case, man. They were a good to above average ACC team this year, middle of the road seed in the tournament. You built a 19-point lead and you lost. And so it's one thing if you can point back and say, I like the trajectory of the program despite the outcome of one game, and they can't say that right now. But it's also incredibly challenging to fire somebody who is a legend on your campus and for your program. It's one of the few downsides of hiring an alumni to be your coach. Oregon State went through this with Trent Bray, where it's like you're an icon here, man. Like, we will always appreciate you as a player and everything that you did for the program as a DC and all that. But then you got to make that really tough call, and then the relationship is a little strained, and so you don't really want to do that, but I don't think they have any other option at this point. We'll see if they actually pull the trigger.
Yeah, in the comment section, you get a bunch of Carolina fans that defend it and say, well, what are you supposed to do with all these injuries, and that he can't make the free throws, and I'm like, I get it, man, but it just, you mentioned Duke, like that's the one you point to. It just doesn't feel like they're on the same.
No.
And I know they beat them, but that doesn't equate to the final results and feeling. 19-point blown lead against VCU. Man.
I mean, in the last 2 years, they have lost 23 games. North Carolina has. How many games has Duke lost in the last 2 years?
Well, Duke lost like 2 or 3 this whole season.
Right, and didn't they last year as well? I mean, they were
Cooper Flag and they were really good.
Awesome. Yeah. So you've lost 23 games in the last 2 years. Duke has lost 11.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little bit different, man.
You've doubled them up. That's a problem.
In the last 2 years, well, actually, no, that's not. So how many did Duke lose this year?
I think there's 3. I think they lost.
So last year they were 35-4. That was last year. We were looking 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So they were 35-4 last year, and this year they lost twice or 3 times. So you've lost 6 or 7 times in 2 years. That's a big difference.
Yeah, Duke lost twice.
Yeah, and 3 years ago it was an Elite 8 run. Yep. This last year was a Final 4 run, and yeah, they survived a scare, and we'll talk about it. But like they're probably that might have been their wake up call, and you look up and there they are in the Elite 8 again. It wouldn't surprise anybody, despite the way they played yesterday. And it's just like one program's heading one way, the other program's heading the other way.
A little bit more on yesterday, and then we'll start diving into what today potentially is. We'll get to a couple NBA notes. Luka Doncic scored 60 points in Miami. And because it's the Lakers and it's in Miami, you had Laker fans chanting MVP. I love that people thought it was all Heat fans just chanting MVP.
Well, I'm sure some of them were.
Well, yeah,
take off the Heat jersey and here you go.
They probably are reversible jerseys. One Heat, one Laker on the other side. So we'll get into that a little bit today. Wemby hit a walk-off, and the Valspar was all over television yesterday on pure accident.
We need to talk about who. Like, this will be an inside baseball segment for anybody with YouTube TV, but you and I are both in that category. Who the hell is in charge of putting together their pre-cooked quad boxes? Because I think they were doing it on purpose just to get a social media reaction yesterday.
I tend to agree with you. So we'll get to all of that coming up next. Duke survives a scare against Siena. What do we make of that? We got that, and we come back live from Tom's Watch Bar at A-Lyn-A on 105.1 The Fan.
The Firm. The Fan.
All right, welcome back in. We are at A Casino Resort for Fan Madness. You can join us today for all the action at Tom's Watch Bar. Fan Madness brought to you by A, Window Nation, George McCoy at Warren Allen Attorneys at Law, Cricket Wireless, and Video Only. It's a good time out here. We already got a line for the people to sit down.
Everybody's getting ready for the sports book. First game tips off 9:15 this morning. It's right around the corner. What, under 2 hours now?
Met some great listeners already, so good morning. It's nice to see everybody out here having a good time. We're having a good time.
Dude, shout out to the listener. I won't say his name because I don't know if he's supposed to be here or not, but this guy is already here, placing a parlay. Came over to say hi. I asked him, how's the rest of your day look? So I'm going to be here for the majority of your show, doing some gambling, placing some parlays. Already saw him over at the kiosk. Then he's going up to play golf at Three Rivers. And then he's coming back to the casino for the night games. And I just said to myself, dude, that's a Friday right there. That's how you do a Friday in the tournament, man. You get your parlays in early, watch them while you're playing golf, come back. If you win, you cash your ticket, put some more tickets in. Yeah. Hell of a Friday for that guy.
I will say, I think the cool thing about being at A is the virtual kiosk, parlay cook-up machine.
It's so much fun.
I will, though, kind of, as you guys have learned, I think, through the show the last couple of years, we're getting older, and so you hear it from time to time. I'm going to agree with a co-host of ours, a co-worker of ours, Patrick Harris.
What did Pete Harris say?
I like an old school, go up to talk to a human being, help me cook this up. What do I get with this? What about that?
Okay, all right.
Now, I'm still going to use the machine.
Sure.
But
I don't know if you have that option. Can you go do it at one of the desks? I'm not sure.
You can when they're there. I don't think anybody's there yet, so you got to use the kiosk. But once they get there, you can cook one up there.
Here's what I will say. I agree with you. I have a lot of fun. You kind of get the card, you look at the handle, and there's a big board. You go up there and say, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this.
Old school.
I also think there's a lot of people who are intimidated by the idea of gambling, and they don't quite know what to look at or what they want to bet on or how it all works. That's where I love the kiosk. For the person who doesn't really know what they're doing, although maybe they shouldn't be gambling on sports, but you go over there, you just kind of press, you can just play with it forever until you cook up exactly what you want. So it benefits both sides, but I see the point on the old school way of doing it.
It's been a wild little Friday. We got off to a little bit of a late start, and then Chuck Norris died, so it's just everything's happening today on a weird Friday.
I had to pull up during the break the best Chuck Norris jokes that are out there. Chuck Norris doesn't read books. He stares them down until he gets the information that he wants. I think we just kind of sprinkle those throughout the show today,
Give me another one. Hit me one more.
Time waits for no man unless that man is Chuck Norris.
Well, I think that no longer.
If you spell Chuck Norris in Scrabble, you win forever. There's so many of them, dude.
I had a teacher who used to randomly make jokes, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm wearing my Chuck Norris underwear today. You guys better watch out."
What? Okay. I'm gonna kung fu chop you.
Duke almost lost to Siena yesterday.
They did, and that ended up being. When you're watching games like that in the first couple of minutes, I remember Duke had a dunk that was so easy on the opening possession of the game, and you're like, yeah, here we go. Siena. By the way, Jerry McNamara, shout out, didn't no clue that he was the Siena head coach.
One of my favorite white college players of all time.
Dude, one of the most iconic, talk about Syracuse, one of the most iconic players. He's going to take that job in a heartbeat. I digress. You looked at the physical mismatch early in the game, and you're like, this is going to be a blowout. Why am I even watching this? Next thing you know, you're glued to it with 5 minutes to go, and oh my God, this is nearly the biggest upset in the history of the tournament.
I mean, they couldn't miss in the first half.
Nope.
They build a lead. Now, did you send Swag to half?
Yeah, so I can't remember the player's name, so Swag, maybe you can help me on that, but a player was interviewed at halftime and admitted something I've never heard a player say.
I thought it was Sar at
halftime.
It
was Malik Brown.
Thank you. So Malik Brown gets the halftime interview. Caden Boozer got the postgame. Here is Malik Brown. Duke is down by 11 at the half to see
11 to a 16 seed.
And, yeah, we have a 16 over 1 potentially. Here is Brown in the halftime interview.
5%. What had you guys all out of sorts in that first half?
Oh, yeah, just first game. I feel like a lot of us was kind of nervous or just got punched first, so we just got to respond back. Going in the second half, be ready.
What did Shire tell you in the locker room?
Oh, yeah, obviously we weren't playing our basketball. Just like I said, we thought it was going to be a cakewalk going into this game, so now we know what it is, and we just got to respond back the way we usually do.
I love honesty.
I mean, he's honest. That was exactly what went through their head going into the game. We're playing who? We could have killed these. Yeah. We beat Michigan. We're the number 1 seed in the tournament. They're not going to beat us.
Well, you gave us a great stat earlier that they made on the broadcast of High Point, Wisconsin, that the kid who got the go-ahead bucket for High Point, that was his first 2-point field goal.
That he made all year. He's 1 of 5 on the season now. That's the first one he's ever made.
Here's one for you. Siena had 1 substitution, and it was for 5 seconds the whole game. They played their starters 99.999% of the game.
Why the hell not, man? If you're Siena, I imagine depth isn't your strength.
You don't have depth.
You got one chance to win this game, and that's you ride your starters until the wheels fall off, and they were absolutely toast with like 4 minutes to go.
So how many people now are going to want to bet TCU to beat Duke because Duke could have lost to 16-seeded Siena, which would have been the biggest upset sports history.
Because when
college basketball
Virginia did it as the first one ever, but Virginia was kind of known as a tournament choker. Like, that was kind of their label. Good, slow pace, but like, And ironically, the next year they won the national title. Then it was Purdue, who had a bit of that same.
It was the
Zach
same
Edey.
exact
It was
thing.
Like, yeah, they're a 1 seed,
Right.
but come on, it's this 7'5" guy who can't move, and Zach Edey. They're a bit of a tournament choker to begin with. Duke is, it's just different level. They got two guys who are. I mean, they did last year too, but they got another guy who might be the number 1 overall pick in the draft, who was horrible yesterday. His brother is fantastic. Has come on really strong. Like, that team is loaded with lottery picks. Them to lose in that spot would have been the biggest in the history of the sport.
I thought, I think it was Raftery was on the call of that one, wasn't he? I thought he kept making a good point. Like, it felt like Boozer was being way too passive.
Yes.
They needed him to shoot that elbow jumper. They needed him to take the ball, do a power dribble, turn into a guy, and go up with it. Like, if they're going to really get as far as people have them, some people have them win the title, Final Four. Like, I certainly had them in the Final Four. I don't know if they'll lose to TCU or how close it'll be, but if they are to go on a deep run, I'm going to need Cam Boozer has to be more aggressive. He still ended up having a good stat game, but
yeah, it wasn't terrible. His brother was the better player in the game, though, and he's not the number 1 overall pick potential in the draft.
He just has such an advantage. I thought Siena played him really well, but Cam Boozer still has such an advantage that he has to go into the TCU game. That's a game, go get 25 or 30. If you're going to get those kinds of looks and that kind of feel, you got to take advantage of that. So Duke scares the living heck out of me, but also could be the wake-up call they needed for Shire and company.
It's one direction or the other, I feel like, for them. This is either, oh my God, a bunch of young puppies who aren't ready to do this and they're going to get caught off guard by a team who's more experienced, or that was the one scare that they needed, and now look the hell out, here comes Duke. They're going to run their way through the rest of their region. The irony of their next game is, when we all looked at the bracket, one of the things a lot of bracketologists, if you will, said was what? Ohio State might be a tough matchup for them in round 2. Ohio State's been playing great basketball. Ohio State didn't get out of the first round of the tournament. They're playing TCU tomorrow.
Yeah. God, dude, I should have been here earlier yesterday. I had a lot of those upsets. I had TCU. I had VCU. I had High Point.
You got to get up here in time. Put that parlay in. You'd be a rich man right now.
Well, what's going to happen is I'm going to cook up my parlay during one of our breaks for today's games, and I'm going to go completely the other way.
All I ask for out of my parlays, I don't expect to win. I want it to be like my baseball team. Get me to August, and then football season starts.
I like that.
Get me through the first handful of legs and give me hope. It's heartbreaking to have it end in a bad, bad loss or blown lead or whatever. Don't let the first game of my parlay lose, because then the rest of them are just meaningless.
Let's talk about a tournament hero, and then we'll start diving into today's festivities. We got a couple non-NCAA tournament things to get to today. Golf was glued to people's televisions kind of on accident, although I don't think it was an accident.
Yeah, how much did the PGA Tour pay for that?
No kidding. And then we had an MVP chant down in Miami and a alien walk-off buzzer beater yesterday that continues to haunt me of, could you imagine being Joe Cronin knowing you were one number away from that being your franchise?
Remember that winning streak for the All-Star break?
Remember that ping pong ball away from having Victor Wembanyama rock.
Really glad that Anthony Simons hit a game winner against Memphis.
Chicago Bull legend Anthony Simons. Let's talk about one of the heroes of the NCAA tournament and a potential number 1 pick. Basically saying, Portland? I didn't do anything. I was stuck in my hotel room. We'll get that, but first, Swag with a sports update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, plenty of madness on day 1 of the NCAA tournament. 6 lower-seeded teams pulling off upsets, including 12th-seeded High Point right here in Moda Center. Took down 5th-seeded Wisconsin 83-82. VCU coming back from a 19 down to beat North Carolina in overtime. We'll see if it continues here in day 2. It cranks up at 9:15 this morning. 10th-seeded Santa Clara and 7th-seeded Kentucky will be on Coin 6. 9:40 a.m. True TV. 12th-seed Akron faces 5th-seeded Texas Tech. 10:35 on TNT. Top seed in the West, Arizona, and 16th-seeded Long Island University. And at 10:50, 14th seed Wright State and 3rd seed Virginia. The NCAA women's tournament begins today. First round action includes the 8-seeded Oregon Ducks taking on 9-seeded Virginia Tech in Austin, Texas. 10:30 a.m. tip. We'll have coverage on 910 ESPN Portland beginning at 10 a.m. this morning. Blazers road trip is in Minnesota tonight, taking on the Timberwolves, 5 o'clock on KUNP Xfinity Channel 1016. Portland just 2.5-point underdogs. They start the night tied with the Clippers for the 8th seed in the West, and the T-Wolves will be without Anthony Edwards. Round 2 of the Valspar Championship, Copperhead course at Innisbrook Resort. And Sung Jae Im, your first-round leader, has been passed up here. Doug Gim is 6 under through 11. He's 9 under. David Lipsky, 6 under through 11. He is at 8 under par. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour. The Fan.
All right, it's cooked up.
You got your parlay? Did you put it in?
I got it in.
All right, who do we got?
Okay, here we go. I got Santa Clara money line.
Swigard, I'm telling you, man, if Santa Clara does not do this, I'm never letting you off the hook for this one.
No, I'm going to have to take you guys out for a nice meal if my Herb Sendek pick blows.
If we cash that, I'll take you out for the night.
Okay.
That's that's an underdog at money line in the parlay.
I was disappointed but not surprised in St. Mary's. They are a flawed ball club.
Yeah.
But no, Santa Clara, I am expecting them to do some damage.
Yes.
I took A&M yesterday in the St. Mary's game. I'm done trusting them. Sorry, Gaffney. So Santa Clara money line, the spread's 2. So
it's not that big of an
upset.
Give
me the money line.
That's kind of like the St. Louis Georgia game last night. I had St. Louis money line, but I think they were 2.5-point dog.
Yeah. I got Akron plus 7.5. It is the Seth Greenberg, Joe Lunardi hot special right now.
I went money line, you coward.
Yeah, I
know. Akron scores like 90 a game.
I knew that when I placed that bet.
What were their plus money line? Do you remember?
Well, I mean, I don't. I left the tickets up in my room
because it's a minus 112 with the plus 7.5.
Yeah, I don't. It was just part of the parlay, so I can't remember.
Well, I got points there. I need a couple points. I don't want to just do money lines. All right.
I know.
And then I don't know if it was swag. I think it was swag. This is a swag ticket, actually.
You got
I took Wright State plus 17.5 against UVA. Now, if swag didn't mention
that in a parlay too. I think it was one of the bets that I brought up yesterday.
I don't know that I mentioned Wright State.
Oh, it was you.
So they were one of the most bet on underdogs, and we asked why, and then we just came to the conclusion that nobody trusts Virginia. They probably still play boring basketball, so it could be 52-38, and you cover the spread.
Yeah, those 3 are a plus 711 for me.
You're up in the kitchen, man. You got the spices, you got the ingredients. It's all in the pan.
Yeah.
I love it.
We'll see if that one ends up hitting. As I noted somebody in line, like, dude, yesterday was probably my day, and today is not going to be my day because it's me.
The way it works.
You know what I mean? It's a Sprague and Line Friday.
Usually how it goes.
By the way, you can get Sprague and Line sponsors in today. We're out at the casino. This is the best place to do it. And you can text those in at 503-864-6326. I'm excited for today's game, and we'll do some peekaboos on that. A couple notes, though, of games yesterday we didn't get to. Did you see DeBonta lost to Texas?
Yeah, that was a game that was competitive. I think a little bit closer than the final score indicated. BYU had a nice little run there at the end, but ultimately probably the best player in the tournament yesterday, right? Anybody have a better game than DeBonta? I know Acuff was pretty solid for Arkansas. But outside of that, he was awesome. They just didn't really have much else help. And Texas, a nice win for Sean Miller.
DeBonta was asked post-game if he did anything while he was in Portland, and he said, I was in my hotel room. We're in Portland.
Well, now I hope we get the number 1 pick even more now. I was like, get ready to learn Portland, buddy.
You know the funny thing about watching that, because I told you we'd joked about the whole hellhole thing with Portland.
You live in Provo, Utah.
Do you want to talk about a hellhole?
No offense.
I'm not going to do that.
That's the worst road
Provo
trip.
Is beautiful
I
in its own way.
there.
You guys both stop it, okay?
You live in Provo? You chose to go to Provo, Utah.
Anyways.
Because they paid you $8 million.
Every time they came back from commercial in Portland showing the Moda Center from the waterfront, all you saw were weirdos on skateboards and cherry blossoms, and I thought, man, our city looks terrible right now.
That's kind of what we are, man. We're a bunch of weird people, and we got cherry blossoms. That's about it.
But BYU loses, DeBonta falls. The other one I wanted to get to was St. Louis and what they did to Georgia.
St. Louis was the team of the night for me, man.
They might be one of the teams of the tournament if this is how they're going to play. And look,
the only other team that got to 100. Oh no, that's not true. Illinois got there as well. I was going to say the only other one was Michigan, but Illinois also got there against Penn. But they were a 9 seed and they hung a 102 on Georgia.
Well, their leading scorer was Deion Brown, and look, he had a nice game for himself. He was 9 for 10 from the field. The story of this team is going to be yet again the same way he was the story for the Fighting Larry Birds. It's Larry Nerd. Robbie Avila's back in our lives. We have Milt Chamberlain at the forefront of the NCAA tournament again.
Just silky smooth. It reminds me of like if I got to play in a basketball game against 4-year-olds, how it would look.
Like that's a good way of putting it.
I'm not moving fast.
Yeah,
I'm not the most athletic guy.
They're wondering how you're even able to play. Your athleticism.
A 4-year-old would have no clue how to handle my spin moves in the post.
That's
right?
A good point.
Like you're just going around everybody, finger roll. It had to be on a lowered hoop too. It couldn't be a full size hoop. You give me a lowered hoop against 4th graders. That's exactly how he played yesterday.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, as they like to call him in the mean streets of St. Louis, he scored 12 points, and he just continues to be the biggest celebrity of multiple programs now. Indiana State 1 year and St. Louis, the Fighting Billikens. They beat Georgia 102-77.
Just hammered them.
And I'm not going to pretend to know anything about either team. But you know what? When a team like St. Louis beats a team like Georgia, they should have to flip for a year, and St. Louis should get the revenue share
for
of the SEC basketball.
Georgia's got to go play in the A-10.
And Georgia has to go to the A-10. You have to reverse your course. We need relegation and promotions in college basketball when mid-majors like that.
I'd be all for it.
Beat a program to that level. It's one thing to pull an upset.
Yeah.
VCU at the buzzer, coming down, High Point at a buzzer. St. Louis, from the get, they were 49-32 at the half.
Yeah, there was a moment there at the end of the half where you're like, is Georgia going to cut into this? And then they hit a couple of buckets right before halftime, and you're like, nah, this thing's probably over. And then in the first 3 minutes of the second half, they came out guns ablaze, and you figured there'd be a fight back from Georgia, and there just never was, man. That was it's one thing for Michigan and although the Michigan-Howard game is a little uncomfortable at halftime, but they end up winning by 21. I mentioned the Illinois-Penn game; they won by 35. There were ass kickings yesterday. We'll get to one team won their first ever tournament game and won by 30 points. It's another thing to do it in an 8-9 game as the A-10 team against the SEC team.
And having a 2-point spread.
Easily the most impressive performance of the day yesterday. To dominate Georgia the way that they did. They became a really fun story. And I'll tell you what, man, the pace they play out, the way they shoot the ball, the way they turn it over and get out and run in transition with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at the helm in the middle of everything, that'd be a fun story to see if they can go on a little bit of a run here.
Gonzaga played the late game last night in Portland. Let's talk about their kind of scare against Kennesaw State and how we feel about the Zags after one game. We'll get to some of the other games that are going to be today in the third hour of the program. And we'll obviously talk about a couple non-NCAA tournament topics as well. Dirt and Sprague back with more out at Tom's Watch Bar at A-Lyn-A on 105.1 The Fan.
It's time for Who's Stinking It Up?
Do not go in there.
A sports lowlight, ripped from the headlines.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Schedule your appointment online at threemountainshomservices.com.
The long toss by Stevenson, the catch, Basar, and that's it! Upset madness! VCU comes all the way back to defeat North Carolina in overtime.
There's Ian Eagle, TNT Sports on the call. VCU down 19. Come back and win in overtime. It was an ugly overtime, by the way. It took forever for anybody to score. And they eliminate the Tar Heels' second consecutive season. The Tar Heels have lost in the round of 64, which is the first time since the tournament expanded in 85. It's the sixth largest comeback in tournament history by VCU.
Sticking it up in the game, and they're sticking it up as a program right now, and that might be the one to get their head coach fired.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one, but not good for Carolina. Who's stinking it up? North Carolina, brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Our friends at Three Mountains Home Services have a sweet special this March. Purchase a new high-efficiency HVAC system and score a 16-year parts and labor warranty. 16 seasons of comfort starts now. Visit ThreeMountainsHomeServices.com today.
The Fan.
All right, welcome back in. Dirt Sprague here, live out at Tom's Watch Bar at A-Lene. Day 2 of Fan Madness, and the NCAA tournament rolls on. A pretty good little day 1, and I think people are looking forward to an exciting day 2.
I thought it was a perfect day 1.
Perfect?
Perfect day 1, man. You got a couple upsets, interesting games from start to fit. Like, you never want there to be a lull, and sometimes you get those like end of the day windows. If Gonzaga had blown out Kennesaw State, you might have had that because the St. Louis Georgia game was a bit of a dud, unless you were just rooting like hell for St. Louis. But there was an interesting storyline in each part of the day. You had characters emerge. The dude on High Point who doesn't shoot 2-point shots, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back in our lives. Like, I thought it was a perfect. Duke almost lost. Like, it was entertaining from start to finish for me.
I could have used one more upset, but it was a pretty good day.
Yeah.
And by the way, shout out Nebraska, got their first NCAA tournament win ever, and that was never in doubt.
They killed Troy. That atmosphere. So they're playing. I think in Oklahoma City is where they're at.
Yeah, that was a home game.
I mean, it's just insane. Who are they playing next? Because the opposing coach had a joke. He was like, "This is great. I'm pumped that we get to play a road game in the tournament." Because Vanderbilt, they're playing Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Vandy.
So Vandy's coach, after they won, they beat McNeese yesterday, and he came out after the game. He was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be cool." There's like 80,000 of them here. They're not going anywhere. They're so desperate to cheer for something, man. Good for Nebraska yesterday.
We have a lot to get to in the final 2 hours of the program. A weird start for our Friday, I would say.
A little bit weird.
Kind of a 6:22 start time for our show, but
there's no worse moment in radio as a host, I will tell you, than having to do the segment on the phone. The phone segment, and it's happened to me. I
can't believe you did it. I got to be honest. I just saw Swag's text.
I let Swag get through the first segment because we're trying to figure things out. Like, what are we going to do? Is our engineer alive or is he dead? And then after that, it's like, all right, I'll bail you out. I'll give you one segment. If he's not awake and down here, then I'm not doing the rest of the show this way.
Hey, I just kind of thought we'd be on by the second segment, and if not, like the end of the second segment. And I just was like, you could do it. You're the host of the Golf of the Northwest show. Like, you got this.
Spread
You're
your
Mr.
wings,
Pilot.
Peacock. This is your day, man.
Plus, I was racing around a lobby trying to find our esteemed engineer, who, by the way, left. And he leans in. You were gone. He leans in and he goes, "I'm going to be right back. I got to clean myself up." And I was like, "Are you okay?"
You
he
goes, right over there?
I'm disheveled.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You got it, man.
You go do what you
I
need
think
to
we'll
do.
be okay while you're gone."
We're on the air now.
Gonzaga played in Portland last night. They were the last game of the evening against Kennesaw State. And this game was uncomfortably tight, I'd imagine, for a Gonzaga fan. They looked like they were going to pull away, and then Kennesaw State got a bunch of fouls at the end. And they started coming back. They missed free throws that would have cut it to 3. And so fortunately for Gonzaga, they were having just enough wiggle room there to get by and ended up beating Kennesaw State. I'm not very high on Gonzaga this year. I think I have them in my Sweet 16. But
they got Texas now in the second round, so they'll play on Saturday night.
I'll be curious to see how that game goes. They definitely can beat Texas. I don't think Texas is all that amazing this year. So at Sweet 16, I think most Gonzaga fans would tell you that what a great season that is.
Right.
Also, there's just a little bit of an odd vibe when you're such a stellar program and you don't quite have it on a season, and you kind of know it, so maybe they'll pull an upset. They'll get to an Elite Eight or something. But
I think you get to a Sweet 16 this year, you kind of say, all right, I don't know where you're going in the future because your head coach and his age, but that's like anytime getting to the Sweet 16, it's a good year.
I agree with that, but there's just a vibe of that's the ceiling of it, and that's how I have felt about Gonzaga and how I feel about Gonzaga. And I think last night kind of made me feel a little more in that opinion of the best they can do is the Sweet 16.
I tend to agree with you. The funny part is, and it was Calipari actually who said this yesterday. So they're in Portland. They handle Hawaii. Easy win for them. A-Cup looks great. And he says after the game, and it's such a spot-on thing, he says, when the bracket comes out, there's so many players who look up and down and they say, oh, we have to play so-and-so, or we might have to face off against this team or that team.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get an example of theirs. They look at it and say, we got Wisconsin in round 2. No, you don't. You got 12-seed High Point now.
Who looks really good.
And he said they're a good team, and we're a big favorite and all that, but that's the reason you don't look ahead. That's the funny thing about Gonzaga, because I'm with you 100%. Let's also not sit here and act like Purdue hasn't been a team who's laid an egg from a time or two early in the tournament. They play Queens. Am I picking Purdue to lose today? No, but it's also the tournament. You have no idea. And so you look ahead a game or two. If you can survive Texas, you're getting a combination of Miami, Missouri, Purdue, or Queens in the Sweet 16. If you find your way into an Elite Eight this year with an under-the-radar roster that hasn't been quite what it's been in other years, phenomenal year for Mark Few. That is house money at that point.
Yeah.
One more win. They're a 6.5-point favorite over Texas. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to act like I know anything about Texas other than what they did to beat BYU yesterday. One more win away from a Sweet 16, and we'll see what comes out on the other side there, because the other matchups, Miami, Missouri, Purdue, Queens, they're both playing today.
I mean, I think that's actually a really good point by you, because I didn't really look at the below region of Miami, Missouri. Who the hell knows? And then Purdue's pretty good. I mean, what we saw from them.
Of course they were good as a 1 seed too when they lost
You're right.
with Zach Edey.
You're right, and we'll see what the Fighting Queens have to say about the 15-2.
I'm a big fan of the Queens. I've been glued to the Queens all year, as you
I love
can tell.
Queens, dude.
Who doesn't love a good Queen?
I love that Queens College gets into this tournament every once in a blue moon, but that's a good point.
Can they be the Queens?
What are they, actually?
What is their mascot? Do you know, Swag?
It'd be if they're the Queens Kings.
The
Queens Kings.
They are the Queen University Royals.
Queen Royals?
The Queen Royals? That's not... I mean...
I'm going to love acting like I know anything about these teams playing today, just looking at the TVs and going crazy about this.
I just love pulling up. So Queens Royals, they're playing Purdue today, and they have a mascot, or I don't know if it's a stuffed animal, but basically a dog who they carry around to say that we got that dog in us.
I love that.
Buddy the dog.
But is it an actual dog, or is it a stuffed animal?
It's got to be a stuffed animal. No, he's carrying a live dog. What do you mean? He's carrying a live dog
Their
around?
coach said he wants their team to embody the street dog mentality of fighting for everything that you can get, man. Dude, Siena almost beat Duke yesterday.
I know.
So I have no clue what the hell's going to happen today. That's the beauty of the tournament.
I totally get it, but I think you could be right. This could where I age terribly, and I don't mean any disrespect to Zags fans who you're hopeful.
It's a stuffed dog. It's supposed to represent the team's street dog mentality.
We knew they weren't going to be bringing a live animal
Maybe they
around
should.
with them,
Maybe
okay?
Queens. Maybe they do that for the tournament today, and they shake up Purdue. They don't really know what to do.
It's the dog that gets you to root against them that they have on the sidelines that's live.
Oh, that's a good question.
Like
Huskies?
if they had a Chihuahua.
Yeah, dude. If you had a Chihuahua,
yap dog.
No, you don't want that personality. If
And
you got like a
little-
Rottweiler over there, like a pit bull.
That's pretty badass.
No, I'm intimidated.
But if it's a Chihuahua and little tutu,
maybe a pug.
Yeah, pug.
Why is he breathing so funny?
I always feel bad for pugs when I see them. The way they have to. Dude, it's exact. You nailed that noise.
Nailed it. I'm a little stuffed up, so it's pretty easy to do.
Dude, that and your dolphin noise.
Pull that as a pug noise. You can put that on the drop page.
I just always think of the one in Men in Black when they just shake it
the alien.
Put me down. Put me down now.
So we'll see. Gonzaga's struggling with Kennesaw State, but it's the first game, and it's Dirt's point. Like Siena almost beat Duke, so we'll see what they do against Texas. I'm excited for that matchup as the tournament rolls on. The second day on Saturday is going to be for the Portland games. A lot to get to in the third and the fourth hour. We're going to give you some of our Sprague Line stuff today. We might Sprague the line today because we're out at a casino, and you can get your Sprague Line sponsors in at 503-864-6326. Anything and everything is all on the table for Sprague Line as people are lined up here at Tom's Watch Bar at A-Lene. It's been a great showing on Thursday, and it's going to be a great showing today on Friday. If you have nowhere else to go watch the tournament, come on out to Tom's Watch Bar at A-Lene. It is the best setup you could possibly have for the NCAA tournament. Make your bets, your parlays, or just come hang out with us. We're having a good time. Hour number 3, Dirt and Sprague, 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network.
Question: what business? George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, will day 2 of the NCAA tournament provide as much madness as day 1 did, with 6 lower-seeded teams pulling upsets, including 12th-seeded High Point knocking off Wisconsin at the Moda Center? We'll start this morning at 9:15. 10th seed Santa Clara out of the West Coast Conference taking on 7th seeded Kentucky on coin 6. 9:40 a.m. It's True TV for 12th seed Akron facing 5th seed Texas Tech. 10:35 a.m. on TNT. The number 1 seed in the West, Arizona, gets 16th seeded Long Island University, and at 10:50, 14th seed Wright State battles 3rd seed Virginia. It's also day 1 of the NCAA women's tournament. 8th-seeded Oregon is in action facing 9th-seeded Virginia Tech. They are in Austin, Texas. It is a 10:30 a.m. tip. We'll have coverage on 910 ESPN Portland beginning at 10 o'clock. Blazers road trip is in Minnesota tonight. They face a Timberwolves squad that'll be without Anthony Edwards. Portland starts the day tied with the Clippers for the 8th seed in the West. Tip at 5 o'clock on KUMP Xfinity Channel 1016. And Portland is a 2.5-point underdog. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon.
Hey, welcome back in. Hour number 3. Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. We got a lot to get to. In the next 2 hours of the show, we are live out at A&A. A little bit of a late start for us today on a day 2 of the tournament Friday. But we're on the air. We're having a great time. And I will tell you what, we had somebody ask earlier, I wonder if anybody's in the sports book. Let me tell you, man, if you want to come up for the weekend, I did not realize, and maybe I just forgot this from last year, how early you have to get here.
Yep.
Now, I'm sure some of these people will clear out and, go about their day. I don't know how long they're going to all be here. Maybe it's an all-day thing.
I think they're here all day.
If you want because we're right here at Tom's Watch Bar. We're sitting right next to the sports book, so if you're watching on YouTube, it's right here. Literally in front of us for the last, 30, 40 minutes has been a line of about 60 people waiting to get tables.
There's already people sitting down.
In the sports book, and I think they open it up right at 8 a.m.
Right at 8.
There's some gals showed up and they just started, so everybody's been lined up right in front of us for a while now. So if you're coming this weekend and you want to get a table for the early games, what time do the games start tomorrow?
9. Oh, tomorrow?
Tomorrow, if you're coming out to A&A, looks like first 9:10, so about the same time.
Yeah.
So you got 9 a.m. games. They will open at 8 a.m. And if you want a table, get here early because there's a lot of people waiting in line. So a lot of fun, great atmosphere already. People still at the tables and all that, and a long line in front of us. So people get ready to go into the sports book. One last thing as we kind of put a bow on yesterday, and then we'll get into some of the rest of the stuff today in the tournament and then some NBA notes. For those of you who have YouTube TV, this ended up being one of the funniest things for me. So I get home. I left right away yesterday. I'm like, I want to get home. I want to go watch tournament games. They're all on. I want to get home, get on my couch, and see what's going on this morning. I walk in. I turn on YouTube TV, and you immediately go to the quad box option to
it
watch
usually
four
pops
games,
up for
right?
you on YouTube TV.
And there's some pre-cooked ones in there, and I'm just assuming, as any rational sports fan would, what would the quad boxes be?
All the games.
All the tournament games.
All the games.
Now, it wasn't available right when I got home because there was only 2 games on, right? But you have pre-games on the other channels because the other games are getting ready to tip off.
Yeah.
And by about, 10:40-ish or 10:30-ish, all 4 games had kind of gotten underway, and you could quad box it. Well, YouTube TV has these pre-packaged quad box options for you. And in every single one, I swear whoever was creating these was playing a joke because the Golf Channel was in almost every single one. And there was a handful of them that showed up on mine when I opened it that had a news channel in there. So it'd be two tournament games, like a news channel and the golf channel.
Yeah.
And I just thought, like, who? Now you can go in and manually build your own one, which I think everybody did once you realized that you're going to have to do that. So you could watch all 4 tournament games at once. Whoever was doing that, I got money on them just like laughingly behind the scenes, like, let's watch people freak out on social media about this.
You can build your own. By the way, the line is serious here to get into this the sports book. We got a guy here. He got a notebook.
Yeah, I mean,
I got a guy with a notebook in it.
Yeah.
He got notes. He's ready to go. He's going to lay all his bets. He knows everything about these teams, so they take it really seriously out here. Look, the quad box thing is funny because I got home too. I got home a little later than you, and I get home. I open mine up, and it's this option. I scroll, and I probably got 5 down.
You're like, where the hell?
Every single one of them was some variation of 3 with the Valspar Championship.
Valspar, yeah.
And I'm like,
even later into the day,
Valspar.
Because in the end of the day, it was an LPGA event that they were playing on the Golf Channel, and that one took over.
Because I saw Nelly Corda, and I'm like,
what?
why is there golf included in all these? You have to either customize your own, or you have to scroll all the way to the bottom to like the 15th option to have no golf. And I'll tell you this. I watched the one with golf.
Did you?
I did, yeah, because one of those games ended up being a blowout. Yeah. I can't remember which one it was, but there was a garbage game in there, and I'm like, I don't really need to watch the 20-point blowout.
You get a wide margin, what the hell?
Yeah, I already know who's going to win that game, and so like I put the one, and the Valspar was on, and so like in between, like, oh my God, Sienna might do this, and oh my Lord, look at High Point. I was like, what a shot by Jordan Spieth. Is Spieth back?
You got a little golf mixed in there.
Is Spieth back?
So you're the target audience. You were the guy they were going after. You ended up watching golf out of it yesterday.
If the 4th game ended up being kind of tight, I would have gotten rid of the Valspar on the quad box, but it wasn't. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to dive into it. Why not? Why would I not have the Valspar on?
It was fun. Funny yesterday. Go cook your own up if you want to. But if you want to watch a little golf, they give you that option too on YouTube TV. The sportsbook filling up. The kiosks are basically all full over there. So it's crowded down here early. Games are about to get underway. About an hour, a little over an hour from now. First game underway, Santa Clara, Kentucky here today. I did want to make sure that we mention, because we'll also be airing the game over on 910 today. The women's tournament tips off.
It does tip off, yeah.
It's always a day later. So they had their play-in, or their first 4, whatever the stupid they call it, on Thursday and Friday, or Wednesday and Thursday, excuse me. And then the tournament begins today, and that includes Oregon. Oregon is back in the tournament, and they are taking on Virginia Tech. That is a 10:30 tip. Pre-game's going to start at 10 a.m., so right when we're off the air, if you're curious on how that's going, it'll be over on 910, and the game tips off at 10:30 on ESPN2. And here, you can bet that game if you want. They're a 3.5-point favorite. Not going to pretend to know anything about either team, but I will always gamble and take the Ducks, and so they take on Virginia Tech this morning at 10:30 right out of the gate. We got any takes on the women's tournament? Tip it off?
The women's tournament's going to be interesting this year. I think we are destined to get a Texas, South Carolina, UConn situation. I think that's where this is going. I mean, that's not a hot take, but the thing about Oregon, I'll say this about the women's.
Yeah.
Got to the tournament. Nice little season for Kelly Graves, right, to get back to the NCAA tournament. Again, if they beat Virginia Tech, that's great. You are like not a chance. You are going to get obliterated by Texas.
How dare you? How dare you?
Texas beat South Carolina in the SEC women's title game by like 30 points.
You know what they say? Nobody's giving us a chance.
No, I'm telling you, like, fade the living hell out of Oregon women if they get past.
What is a hypothetical look-ahead line on that game?
Texas,
what do you think it is?
Texas, let's see. Texas is favored in their first game in the 16.
In the 116, yeah.
They're 43.5-point favorites in the 16.
Okay.
If Texas takes on Oregon in the women's tournament.
25, maybe 20?
30.
You're going to be 30 points spread?
I think Texas is getting to the national championship.
I'm taking the Ducks money line. Once we win this morning, I'm going to walk over there, put that bet in. Ducks money line against Texas.
I'm trying to see. So South Carolina, Texas. Yeah. I think
the biggest spread of the day.
You could have UConn, Texas in the title game.
It is hilarious to see women's spreads. Michigan is playing Holy Cross today. That is a 41.5-point spread.
UConn's a 54.5-point spread against UTSA.
Where did LSU go? LSU's got a funny one by him. Texas only being 43.5.
Oh, it's 51.5 against Jacksonville.
Yeah, LSU, that's what it is. 51.5 against Jacksonville later on today. So
Bortles.
The women's tournament also tips off today. Ducks in action, and some big spreads. You can go gamble on that as well while you're up here. We have one of our P1s who's a Duck fan stop by. South Carolina, 52.5 point spread over Southern tomorrow. If you want to lay the wood there.
Lay the wood.
That is the epitome of
lay the big wood.
So some big ones in the tournament. He said he was going to go gamble on the Ducks women. They tip off at 10:30. A quick note outside of the world that we're focusing on right now. We'll get to an NBA storyline here in a moment. This is just more of a passing thing. We don't need to spend too much time on it, so I thought it'd be good here.
Yeah.
Did you see that they changed the targeting rule yesterday in college football?
No. I missed that news.
Totally random, right?
What's the targeting rule now?
Great timing, college football.
No kidding.
To get people to talk about your sport. I think it's a good change. It is very simple to the point where if it's your first ejection of the season for targeting, you're not suspended the next game. So if you get tossed in the first half of it, or a second half of a game, usually it leads to the first half suspension the next game.
Can we just cut the suspensions in general?
I know. I'm just saying at least it's a step in the right direction. That's one of that's really dumb to make you sit out the first half of the next game. If you're a repeat offender, you still have to, but if it's your first time of the year, you will not have to sit out the first half of the next game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I didn't see this. This is stupid. Just get rid of it. It's such a dumb rule. Targeting in general is, honestly, it's kind of dumb to me. Now, you can have guys that commit penalties, and you should flag them for it. How many times do you watch a targeting replay in a football game, and you either say, what is he supposed to do here?
Yeah.
Or, really? That bang of a play that we're slowing down as slow as possible, and we're concluding he did that with malice? I mean, I don't know, man. I hate it. I've never liked it. I've never been a fan of it. I don't like the way they penalize it. I hate you got ejected in the second half because you're suspended, but if you get ejected in the first half, you're cool.
Yeah.
How to make that make sense? So if I just keep getting it in the first half and I'm ejected and I never get suspended, why?
Yeah.
It's dumb. It makes no sense. You care about concussions. You fake care like the NFL does. You want to eliminate helmet to helmet. I totally get that. I think the way they legislated in the actual games is really stupid, and I don't think they know what they're doing. And I didn't see this news. This does nothing for me, other than hey, maybe my guy won't be suspended now, and that's a cool thing.
So if you have a guy that gets tossed in the second half, you won't have to worry about, hey, we got a big game in our next game, and he can't play in the first half.
What if he does it in the non-conference against a patsy accidentally, right? And they go, well, there's your first one. And then by week 12, biggest game of the year, or week 11, he gets it, and then, you're suspended now for the first half of your week 12 game.
Face
that means
mask
a ton.
up, brother. All right? Don't be torpedoing people.
Dude, I just find myself, I want them to be safer. By the way, the new kickoff, less safe.
Yeah.
It went up 25% with injuries this year. So for all that, That being said, I want them to care about head injuries and be safer. I also just find myself so many times watching replays. What is the guy supposed to do here?
Go
for a tackle, offensive guy crouches down, okay, now we have helmet to helmet. There's targeting.
Yep, it's frustrating, no doubt about it. We'll see if they ever loosen the rules even more than that. Step in the right direction, but not that big of a story. Just saw it yesterday in passing. Let's get to what was the bigger storyline last night in this league. Couple of different options. Did one guy put himself into a certain candidacy, and did another guy wake up and remind the rest of the league what he's capable of? And we'll do that coming up next. 105.1 live out here at A. Tom's Watch Bar. Tournament about to get underway. Day 2, having a blast. Back after this on The Fan.
The new home of the Portland Timbers. The Fan.
All right, what is the bigger storyline out of this league as the line is officially evaporated? Almost, I'd say what, Sportsbook about 70% full, 65% full, somewhere in that range?
I'd say about 60. I think there's still we got
full.
These chairs. You got the individual chairs of guys coming out, hanging out by themselves.
Let me tell you, there's some comfy chairs. We'll paint the picture for you, literally right in front of us. There's 3 rows of leather chairs, and they got like the old, like a swivel desk, like you're in school again. So you can kind of swivel the desk. You put your little card down there. You can have your little notepad. There's a menu that you can eat your food, couple of cup holders. That to me is the spot to be, because you're far enough away from the chaos of down in front of the bar. A little bit more room to breathe back here, but you can still see every screen on the big board. These leather chairs are delightful.
There is a guy sitting in the front row of this leather chair situation, and he's got an Oregon State bowling shirt on.
Yes, he does.
He is the guy with the notepad, and I am in the next commercial break going to ask him, what is on your notepad? I need to see what the notepad, does it just say like notes that he, like, don't forget to lay it for this
bad or that bad? Maybe you're making bets for buddies.
Or
Maybe
is
you're
it like legitimately the 9th guy on Wright State, the over of 6.5 points? Like, is it some real obscure situation there? I want to go check that out in one of our commercial breaks, but I also will tell you, I'm somebody like wakes up and I'm instantly like hungry. I need to check out this menu.
I know, I'm starving.
I think I might be doing like a wakey bags and eggsy thing.
I just ate a lukewarm croissant to get me through the rest of the show before we get some breakfast afterwards.
Dude,
I'm right there with you.
They got a breakfast platter. They've got a chicken and cornbread pancake.
Oh, that sounds good.
A breakfast BLT.
Oh, oof.
And then you've got a pancake and omelet situation. I might have to dive in here.
I'm in. All of those sound delightful.
Yeah.
Let's ask the question, bigger storyline out of this league last night, because there's a couple of moments, right? NCAA tournament's going on and everybody's focused on it. The NBA had a like, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm still going on. I'm still playing. Luka Doncic going for 60.
How many people woke up and saw that he got 60? Because I'm going to raise my hand here and tell you, I did not watch the Laker Heat.
I had no clue.
And I said, oh, let's see what happened in other sports leagues. And I saw Doncic goes for 60. And I'm like, cool.
Heat fans or Laker fans in Miami were chanting MVP for him. The game was in Miami. They won 134-126. So Luka going for 60. We literally just did a segment on them yesterday. Are we changing our stance on them come playoff time? And here he goes. He dropped 60. And then you got Victor Wembanyama hitting a game winner and going for 34 as they beat the Suns. Bigger storyline yesterday.
Look, it's Luka. Wemby beating the Suns on a walk-off is fun. Like, he is somebody that is so damn great for the league.
Yeah.
Like, Adam Silver has gotten a lot wrong. He has got to be in his room every morning, waking up that he's still breathing, and then saying, thank you for giving me Victor Wembanyama. Because Wembanyama is as competitor as you will find in that league, and he cares about everything. He cried during a regular season comeback win.
Yes, he did.
So, like, the fact that they have Wemby and that he's healthy and he's playing, and I think he's the MVP. I know Jokic is there.
SGA.
Yeah, sorry. I just got really thrown off. We had a salute to the sports book just now by an older gentleman.
He walked up, gave it a good salute.
I just gave him a salute. They saluted him back. I love it.
Thank you for your service.
I know SGA is the favorite, and he very well could win it. I really think Wemby should be MVP this year. His on-off splits, Jokic went like 5 weeks with no on-court play, and the Nuggets actually played pretty well. And it's not to say he's not an MVP.
He's got to get 10 more games the rest of the way to hit the game total in order to win it. He's at
Wemby
55 right now.
And I think he will do it barring something scary happening, and knock on wood, it doesn't. And SGA is great. We know he's an MVP. I think this year when you tell the story of the league, the team of the season is the Spurs. The Spurs are 3.5 back of the Thunder. They're the 2 seed in the West. A lot of people thought they'd take a jump. Not a lot of people thought they'd take that kind of leap. And so with his on-off splits, his defensive impact, he's going to win DPOY. Like, I think it's Wemby. And that's a great story. The story of the night, though, last night is Luka. Luka and the Lakers continue to be, what do I make of this? Do I trust this, that their defense has truly changed? Do I trust who they're beating? Like, Miami's okay. Miami's actually played well as of late.
Yeah.
They beat a Rocket team that's in the top 6. Like, okay. But is it something you buy in a title contention window? I think a lot of people will be hesitant. But if LeBron is going to lean into the 3 like we talked about, being the third role guy, and they're going to have all these other guys step up and play well, and Luka's going to play like he did the final season, dude, everything should be on the table. And Luka Doncic is scared the living hell out of whoever plays him right now. He's put himself in an MVP conversation, but he has no chance of winning the award.
Right.
He's had a phenomenal second season with the Lakers. And I think if you're a Laker fan, which, sucks for us because we're not, you have to look at that situation and say, who are they going to add this offseason, and how are they going to construct the roster to be maybe the favorite next year, at least one of the teams, the Spurs and the Thunder, to be the lead favorites in the West?
They're going to have a max salary slot available unless LeBron, for some reason, signs for max. I don't see why they would do that and why that would make sense.
If he gets a max-ish deal, it's going to be somewhere else.
Yeah, it'll go somewhere else. They're not going to hand it to him.
I'm not a Laker fan. I'm a big LeBron guy. I like LeBron. I think he's great. He's been great for the league. I really hope, and I never like to pocket watch, I would really think it'd be best for his, in my opinion, career as a sports fan to just end it with the Lakers. You had the Heat, you had the Cavs, Lakers. There you go.
What if he goes back to one of the other teams?
The Heat doesn't make sense, and I think the way the Riley stuff ended kind of hurt Riley, and I don't think he's appreciated Riley's comments of, basically nut up or shut up.
Right.
Don't be running from the grind.
Golden State's been mentioned, too. Could you go sign a cheap deal? He's always wanted to play with Steph, and they've always wanted to team up together from their Olympic experience.
I hear that, but his family's in L.A., his businesses are in L.A. I think he'd be best served. Sign a 1-year, $25 million deal with the Lakers.
Yeah.
You're still getting paid pretty good for what your production is. You'll be 40-2 next year.
Right.
You'll get your victory tour. You'll be in, the Lakers. I think it's the best for them and him to do that. But we also have to wait and see. They might just say, actually, no, we're going to use all that money and get a couple more guys and a max slot guy and fill the void there. But Luka Doncic, man, I mean, if they can get to a West Finals, if they can get to a point where they get past the Spurs in the second round and they get to the West Finals against the Thunder, Nico Harrison will just never live this down.
No, even if you don't, he's never going to live it down.
No, I know.
Dallas is in a spot where he's already gotten fired, and you lucked out with Cooper Flagg, but then you traded Anthony Davis, who spent a half of a year there, couldn't stay healthy, and you already dealt him. It's been a disaster.
It's been a disaster.
The Cooper Flagg thing was lucky, and that was a 2% chance it hit, and I'm sure the NBA isn't rigged at all. But that's I don't care what Luka does in the playoffs. That will always be one of the worst. Even if he never wins a title, I don't care if he ever even gets to another one. That will always be one of the worst trades in the history of the league.
We all make mistakes. If you made a mistake the caliber of trading a Luka Doncic randomly at midnight when no other teams knew you were doing it, and I'm in your life the way I am, at what text number of me texting to you, look at 60 tonight, do you go, legitimately, we're not friends anymore?
I'm blocking your number. Please stop sending
How many texts, though? Like the second one? The third one? The ninth one?
I'd give it an over-under of 9.5.
Like, hey, Nico.
You can needle me a little bit because it was a terrible trade. I'll allow it. I hope I have the self-awareness to acknowledge how bad of a deal that was.
And Luka went for 60 last night.
5, 6, 7, they build up. By the time you send me 10 of them, I'm like, dude, your number's blocked. We're not going to communicate anymore. This is not going to happen.
You guys heard from Andy? The text went green. I don't know what happened there.
We can't get a hold of him anymore. Yeah, fun night in the NBA. It's a spot where nobody's really paying attention to it, and I guess we can kind of carry that over. Are we watching the Blazer game today? They're in Minnesota tonight.
There's no Ann Edwards.
And no Ann Edwards. Vit Krejci, our stud trade deadline acquisition.
Yeah.
There's also a game-time decision, so he might not be playing. And no Ann Edwards. Minnesota is still a 2.5-point favorite.
Did you really just give me a Vit Krejci is questionable?
You're damn right I did. He's actually not questionable. He's game-time decision, which I guess technically questionable, but you got to see how he warms up.
Well, I heard again.
Clutch player off the bench.
I heard again yesterday how good a value his contract is, to which I say, sure. I'd also say he might be overpaid at this point,
Dude,
given the production he's given. Yeah, I mean, why would we? Yeah. He is what he is. He's Vit Krejci.
Exactly.
Am I going to watch tonight?
The reaction to Atlanta from that trade should have told us all we needed to know about Vit Krejci.
By the way, guess who's been surging? Atlanta. They're red hot right now, and they're rising up the East standings because Vit Krejci isn't playing 18 minutes a game anymore for them.
11 in a row or whatever it is.
I look, am I going to watch this game? I'm not the most excited for it. I'll be honest. I'm
not watching tonight. Tournament's going on. There's too many games on.
Minnesota with no Ann Edwards is not exciting. They're already tough to watch with Ann Edwards because their offense is weird.
Not to mention I can't quad box it because I got to use Blazer Vision in order to watch it, and so I'm not That's just too much. There's going to be 4 tournament games on when this thing's going on. Like, no.
I think I'm just kind of like, I'm tired of like them going on a 2-game winning streak and hearing about how they've got it now.
Yes, after wins over 2 of the worst teams in the NBA.
I mean, we're not going to play net pacer again, but we could play that game again, and I don't think you'd pass it.
No, I wouldn't. I don't even remember the names you gave me yesterday. I'd already forget them 24 hours later.
You thought I made a name up.
I still think you did. I'm not going to lie. I still don't think that guy's an NBA player.
One of those guys doesn't play, but he's on the roster. So
technically on the team.
Yeah.
So Blazers back in action tonight. The NBA is still going on despite everybody paying attention to the tournament, and the tournament day 2 is going to begin here. We are about 45 minutes away from day 2 of the NCAA tournament tipping off. The sports book is nearly packed.
We got a Santa Clara diehard.
Got a Santa Clara guy. I got a guy over here.
I love that. Yes.
I got a guy over here with a sheet walking around, getting ready to place his parlays. He's got a Kennesaw State hat on. Is he in town for the game?
Dude, is there anything?
They come in and like, hey, tomorrow morning, let's go up to A, put some bets in.
The lead at the sports book over there, our delightful gentleman. I didn't catch his name, but we were talking before the show. Well, we were supposed to be on, but we were talking before we went on air.
Sure.
And he said the turnout yesterday was like more than they could have expected. They think it's going to happen again. He told me a coach in Canada for a youth basketball team that's won like 6 straight of their, province titles or whatever you call them up there, drove down here just for the tournament and was like, you're the best sports book on the West Coast. And he drove from Canada to watch the action today and yesterday. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you can't beat this. And this is the great part about the tournament. You don't know, when we do a radio show, it's weird because you're talking to just me and you and nothing else. So you don't always get a full grasp of who's out there. And then you come to an event like this and you get a guy that's wearing from head to toe Santa Clara gear. And you go, that's right. People don't just go to Portland State, and Oregon. They go from everywhere and they move out here, or they've lived here their whole lives and randomly have a tie to a university you'd never expect.
It's a lot of fun, man. Of all the places we've ever been for the tournament, this is easily the top of the list. And pumped to be back again. It's going to be an awesome crowd today. So stop by, say hello, live out at A. Day 2 of Fan Madness rolls on. And speaking of which, let's start taking a look at the slate today. Some of the things we like, some of the games we're curious about. First one tips off in about 45 minutes. Day 2 of the tournament talk is coming up next. But first, here's Swag with Sports Center.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, indeed, it is day 2 of the NCAA men's tournament after 6 lower-seeded teams pulled upsets on day 1. We start at 9:15 this morning with 10-seeded Santa Clara battling 7-seeded Kentucky. That one's on Coin 6. 9:40 a.m. on True TV. 12-seed Akron will take on 5th-seeded Texas Tech. 10:35 on TNT. It's the number 1 seed in the West, Arizona, and 16th-seeded Long Island University. 10:50 a.m. 14th seed Wright State gets 3rd seed Virginia. The NCAA women's tournament opens up today, and 8th-seeded Oregon is in action. They're in Austin, Texas to battle 9th-seeded Virginia Tech. It is a 10:30 a.m. tip. We'll have coverage on 910 ESPN Portland beginning at 10 a.m. The Blazers road trip stops in Minnesota tonight, taking on a Timberwolves squad that will not have Anthony Edwards. Tip set for 5 o'clock on KUNP Xfinity Channel 1016. Portland begins the action tied with the Clippers for 8th in the West after LA lost to the Pelicans last night. Portland 2.5-point underdogs. Round 2 of the Valspar Championship from the Copperhead course at Innisbrook Resort in Florida. Doug Gim, David Lipsky, 8 under par. They are finishing up their morning round. First round leader Sung J M going to tee off a little after 10:30 this morning. He's at 7 under. Brant Snedeker 6 under, teeing off in about an hour. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Andrew Nemec. The Fan.
All right, welcome back in. Late tournament tipping off. Charleston and Duke, your first game of the day. Cameron Indoor. I do want to give a quick, before we get to day 2 of the tournament, allow me, one for you, one for me. NBA, great night last night, right? A lot of people, I don't know how many were watching, but still, the highlights were awesome. Wemby hits game winner. Luka goes for 60.
How about James Worthy saying Luka's the most clutch Laker of all time?
Just
I mean, you have a final shot. Hold on. Walk with me here.
I don't want to walk with you.
Come on.
I want
walk
off
with
the
me.
walk.
You
I want off the walk. Get me off. I want off
do.
this ride. I want off this ride.
Final shot of a game.
I get that we get paid to say things and we all say stupid things. What are we? What?
Well, that's why they pay us.
How many games has he played in a Laker uniform?
I mean, but he did it in Dallas. Does the fact that he didn't wear?
That does not count.
No. The clutches doesn't mean the lifetime Laker.
Yes, it does.
Why?
You can't say he's the clutchest Laker of all time when he's played how many games in a Laker uniform?
No. Game-winning shot clutch, not like you've won your whole career here clutch.
What are we doing?
If I gave you a game-winning shot and you had Kobe, you had Kareem, Magic.
I'll take Kobe.
You would take Kobe over Luka in the final shot?
Why the hell not?
Really?
Why the hell not? I don't want that fat-ass hookah smoker out there taking my game winners. Don't worry. It'll all come full circle.
I think I'm with Worthy on this, dude. I think Luka is, well, also, I got to throw LeBron in.
Yeah, pretty clutch
Nobody's
player.
going to pick LeBron, by the way.
Well,
if he
he's
did
not,
that,
he's
not clutch.
Leclerc.
What about the logo?
What about the logo?
Jerry West.
Yeah,
You're right.
Just shut up.
What are we doing?
Shut up. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
That's from Big Game James, though. That's not
can't-
from Mason and Ireland.
I can't handle the Lakers. I don't like them. I can't stand Luka Doncic.
Okay.
I hate him, and I always will, and I always have.
All right.
That's a ridiculous statement, and I can't.
Why
wait.
is it ridiculous?
It's just dumb. It's just dumb. If that had happened for who's the most irrelevant franchise in the NBA?
The Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, I'm not going to laugh at it. If you say he's the clutchest player in Hornets history, like, by all means, dude. You're talking about the Lakers, who have the logo of the league.
Right.
At one point, the all-time leading scorer of the league, and then at another point, the all-time leading scorer of the league. One of the most iconic players in the league in Kobe.
Yeah.
Magic, just stop. Stop.
I think you're mixing two things.
I'm
You're
not
mixing career with one team, and I'm just saying if you had a game-winning shot on the line,
give me Kobe.
You'd take Kobe over Luka?
Mm-hmm. I would. Are there numbers to indicate Luka's the clutchest game-winning shooter of all time? What are the numbers?
Let me see.
Did he even hit a game winner last night? They won by 11.
Oh, he hit
Wemby was the one that hit the game winner.
Yeah, but like the one he hit against the Rockets, the double step back.
Okay, that's cool.
Also I just think it's like burying teams and winning games. I think it's a combination of stuff.
Does he do that by playing lockdown defense?
I mean, no, he's not.
Okay, just checking.
But James Worthy didn't say he's the best defender in Laker history. He said he's the most clutch.
If he's clutch, if you're
the
locking
big game
down,
shooter.
if you're locking down wins and blowing teams out, defense is a part of it, right? I can't wait till he's fat again. I can't stand this moment of having to give Luka flowers. God, I hope they lay an egg in the first round of the playoffs.
So, dude, he's like at 50%.
That's pretty good.
I think you got to pick him.
No, I'm not picking him.
Why?
Because he's a fat ass.
He is 48. He's 46.8% overall in clutch shots.
Okay.
And he's 35.2% from 3 in clutch shots.
All right. I mean, that's pretty good.
I mean,
he's all right. He's okay.
I kind of like the take from Big Game James.
I hate the take.
I kind of like the take. Luka with the clutch shot over Kobe. I think that's what you do.
Get the hell out of here. Now, your sport had a moment. I want to give my sport a moment. First off, seeing the Masters commercials with the tournament on CBS being a month away, just, oh my God, rub lotion on my nipples. And then simultaneously, did you see, now I talked about it the other day, it's gotten rave reviews. Did you go anywhere near the NFL Films Players Championship thing that they did?
I haven't watched it yet. Is it good?
Dude, I'm not kidding you. Now, the only critique I'll have of it
You're going to tell me it's the best sports piece ever made.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Is it really that good?
No, it's not the best ever. But it's the best thing that golf has ever done. In that realm, not even close. The only critique I had was the way they spun it was going to be a documentary following the tournament and kind of the last day chasing Sunday.
Right.
They just picked 4 guys.
Well, that's usually what they do, isn't it?
Which I was hoping there would be mics kind of walking around on the final group. So you didn't get a lot of, I don't know, I didn't see the entire thing yet. I watched about the first 30, it's about an hour long.
Okay.
I did about the first 30 minutes of it, and it's, dude, phenomenal. The back and forth between guys joking, like they're mic'd up the entire time. It was Ricky, it was Batia.
Mm-hmm.
God, who are the other guys? One of the Asian players, I'm blanking on a name. I don't know why. And
Morikawa?
then, no, it wasn't Morikawa, but and then Chris Gotterup was. No.
Tom Kim?
God, no.
Some JM. I'm running out here, dude. I'm starting to forget.
I'll find it. Let me find his name.
All right, well, I named the biggest ones, and it won that.
But it was, for those who are into golf, and if you're looking for that, it was on their YouTube page. They did it. They teamed up with NFL Films to make it, called Chasing Sunday from the Weekend. Phenomenal stuff. Great behind-the-scenes golf content, and cannot recommend it.
Was it Woo Kim?
Yes, Siwoo Kim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go.
Siwoo Kim, who is hilarious.
You can count on me to count all the Asian golfers. I got you.
I know you'd be in that category.
By the way, speaking of commercials, here we go. Madness is here, baby.
Let's go. Good luck, boys.
Speaking of commercials, did you catch how many times it felt like we went to commercial break and the Boozer Brothers were on a commercial?
The entire day.
So they have this, by the way, the privacy screen commercial is...
It's one of the dumbest features I've ever seen introduced in technology.
Really stupid to me because, I don't know about you. First of all, see it? No, you don't see it. See it? No, you don't see it. And I'm like, they have it at an angle.
It's one of the
in
dumbest
the commercial
things.
itself when it's just the students, the no-name students. And the guy to his right is like, whoa, dude, what are you doing? And he shows the screen. You can still see the screen. It's not all the way, black. So you're not even really, blackening the screen from somebody that's just to the right of you when you want to look at racy photos or text some nasty stuff.
That's helped me when I'm watching my porn during these live shows. I'm just going to tilt my phone over, man. That way you can't see it.
That's exactly what it is. But the Boozer Brothers, I, saw them in that commercial, and then the dad's in there. Like, what do you texted? I was like, okay, that's funny. The one I really actually liked, I know Jake from State Farm is maybe being oversaturated in it, right? He's become a celebrity just being a different person.
He's not even the original Jake with khakis. It's a different Jake. He's Jake 2.0.
You know what?
Khaki Jake lost out on millions of dollars.
White Khaki Jake is the second host of American Idol in the first season that nobody remembers.
Yes.
And Black Cool Jake is Ryan Seacrest.
Yes.
So the Boozer commercial yesterday where they've gotten into a car accident.
That's pretty
and
good.
It looks like sweat.
Right.
And then it
face to face.
Yeah. And it's so funny, the one I saw, they have the tow truck driver and he goes, "What's that on your face?" Because it's blue. And I'm like, are they going to do a Gatorade diet in this commercial?
Kind of seemed like they were.
And Caden Boozer just goes, "Wiper fluid." And I started laughing. I'm like, that is a really well-executed commercial right there. They're using a lot of stuff right now, and good for them capitalizing.
Yes.
That's a good commercial.
Making some bank, man. That commercial, you always get one or two every tournament. There's a few of them that just play constantly.
Yes.
And that will be the one. You're going to see the Boozer Bros for the next month. Buckle up. That's not going anywhere.
Is Caden an NBA guy, or is he going to come back to Duke? Because he doesn't strike me as an NBA-ready guy, but
he was pretty damn good yesterday, man. Of all the guys that kind of settled him into that game, I thought he was their best player for the majority of it.
But he's the smaller Boozer. Shorter, I should say, not small.
Yeah, he's more of a guard.
He's about, he's 6'4". His brother's 6'8", 6'9". I don't know if he's ready for the league, but I also wouldn't be shocked if the Boozer Brothers go to the draft room together.
Such a unique look, too, that you see him and you're like, yeah, there's no doubt of a DNA test here, man. Holy hell, do they look exactly like their dad.
Yeah, their dad.
Facial feature. It's just, he's got a unique face and a unique look.
Very unique
And the
look.
Kid's got the same, there's not a doubt at all every time you see him.
Their dad is big.
Big.
He was in a commercial with him, and he looked bigger than Cam.
He absolutely
And I'm like,
did.
damn, dude.
That's why he's 6'7". He's not 6'9". I think we're overestimating the height a little bit there, which is one of the draft concerns about him, but he's a versatile player, can do a lot of things. We are live up at A-Lene. I didn't get to what I teased there. I apologize for that. We'll do it next. How about day 2 of the tournament? Let's start looking at some of the matchups and games. We are just about underway. Under 30 minutes now from day 2 tipping off, so we'll start getting into those games. Coming up next, 105.1 FM The Fan.
Big hits, big bets, big plays.
Today I'm laying the big wood.
This is the Layin' Wood Report, brought to you by Mr. Plywood, serving Portland for over 50 years.
Sharma, other corner. Oh, give me that. Yeah, he did. Just took it away. McCautry got it up top. That's good. Avila knocks it down.
There's Jason Benetti, CBS Sports. I thought his last name was Avila, but Avila Robbie Avila, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, as they call him, Milt Chamberlain, Larry Nerd, you name it, he is it. St. Louis beating up and laying wood on Georgia yesterday.
It's the beauty of the tournament. I haven't watched a Georgia game all year and a St. Louis game all year, and the first game in my parlay is St. Louis money line. And I told the wife, hey, babe, we're rooting for St. Louis. She thinks I'm a genius. Look at that. They won by 30. Game's over at halftime.
Laying Wood Report brought to you by Mr. Plywood, serving Portland for over 60 years. Delivery, custom cutting, and special orders. Visit them at Southeast Stark Street. They got great customer service. They're helping me a lot as I get ready to build a fence in my backyard. You can also go online and visit them at mrplywoodinc.com.
Hey guys, Sprague here from my friend.
The Fan.
All right, I don't want to keep getting distracted. I promise you at some point I will talk about day 2 of the NCAA tournament because I am excited for it.
You're the one railroading your own segments with golf chatter.
Well, sometimes stuff pops up and you just can't avoid it.
I need to live bet the Valspar.
I mean, some of the stuff I don't bet a ton up here because I can bet it on DraftKings. So you go on your app, I can bet it on my phone.
Here.
I know. But then when are you going to bet? You're going to bet a winner of the tournament, then you got to drive back up and cash your ticket.
Yeah, but unlike you, if I win a good bet, I'm going to try. If I win over $100 and have a ticket, I'm not coming back to cash it.
I'm just saying, you can just put the money in that, and then it just goes back into your account.
I have to go to Tacoma this weekend, so I might just on my way to and from,
I saw this quote from Jed Fish. Heard of him? Head coach at Washington.
I'll leave it to you to find some Husky fodder out there.
Actually, ironically, the only reason I saw this was because our buddy Ian Furness quote tweeted it with basically the same thing that I quote tweeted it with, just a different example.
Yeah.
And it is, Jedfish was asked by Pete Nakos of On3, why won't you publicly accuse programs of tampering? Because a lot of coaches like going on those rants. These guys call my guys.
Well, clearly his quarterback was tampered with.
Of course
that was why he jumped in the portal.
Of course, somebody offered him, $8 million a year to come play, and then it backfired, right? They had to sue their own quarterback to not transfer.
Yeah.
He said, I've seen guys go public, and I've seen no changes in the programs that they've gone public about. So what's the value? Until we start getting to a place where there's going to be discipline and accountability, and we really understand what we're allowed to do and not allowed to do, then I'm not going to go public on it. Not worried about it, really. Right now, seems like you can kind of do what you want. And the idea, this is one of the things that frustrates me most. It's like the coaches back in the day who used to talk about their players are soft, who transfer out, who don't want to wait to play, and then welcome in transfers from other programs with open arms. Like, you can't be...
Saban would do that.
Yes,
He'd call his own guy, some people don't want to work for their spot.
And then you bring in a transfer and starts right away. So
exactly.
Is that this... So you can bring them in, but they can't leave your program, so other programs can't do it. I hate the two talking out of both sides of your mouth. Like, and the reason I saw it was Furness quote tweeted it. Remember when he was at Arizona? Mm-hmm. Jaden DeLora was the quarterback at Washington State in the Sun Bowl, and he quit on his team at halftime. Do you know why he quit on his team at halftime?
Because Jedfish said...
Jedfish called him and said, you're going to be my starting quarterback next year, transfer. And he said, okay, deuces.
Yeah.
And he didn't play in the second half of their bowl game. No. And Cougar fans never forgave him for it because he quit on his team in the middle of a game, which is fun. Like, this stuff is shady. I get it. Right before Oregon played Indiana this year, you know who called Jaden Lamar when he was still on Oregon's roster? And I said it at the time? Jedfish. Where's Jaden Lamar at right now?
UW.
That's right.
He's going to beat Oregon next year.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Have fun with our fourth running back on the depth chart being your number one running back. That's great. You're not winning at Autzen next year. I digress. It's like you literally called a player on another team because your running back transferred. Muhammad went into the portal. You needed a running back, and what did you do?
Where did he end up, by the way, Muhammad?
That's a great question.
I don't think I saw his name, or I didn't follow it. I might have missed it, but
I think he ended up at Cal.
Oh,
I think he went to LaPoy. LaPoy probably did the same thing, which, again,
LaPoy.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend as if my program doesn't also do this. Of course they do.
All the good ones do.
Everybody does it. I hate when the coaches do the clutching. Well, when we call them out, nothing actually happens, as if you're not doing it too. Sit down and shut up. End of rant.
You ready for college football season?
Yeah, I can't wait, dude.
I think what I've loved the most is finding out from listeners how they have realized you're petty.
Let's see where you ended up going.
Like, people just calling out that they're nervous of their team winning because they didn't want the backlash from you on the air of, like, killing somebody you don't like. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Muhammad ended up going to Cal. He ended up transferring to Cal. Which I remember
at
the time.
Cal has the five-star kid, too, so that makes it, Kyle's kind of exciting next year in the ACC.
Yeah, I didn't really get that one. Like, he was in line to be the Huskies starting running back.
Yes.
It's not like Cal's... It's one thing if you go to a place where you're like, ooh, they probably spend big. Like, I'm not saying Cal doesn't pay their players. They obviously do. So finances are a part of it, I would imagine. That was just a unique one because he was going to be the Huskies starting running back. He was good last year. Remember in the Oregon game? He was big.
Now he's going to be the Cal running back.
And now he's going to be the Cal running back, and Jaden Lamar is going to be the Washington running back. So
Cal to win the ACC might be a sneaky little bet.
You think Tosh Chapoy can do it in year one over Miami? Well, Duke won it last year, so,
Right. Miami wasn't even a top 2 team. They were 5th.
It's a great point.
I mean, I think in that conference to get to at least the title game, maybe, can you do get to the title game? Like, why would you not? Tosh,
hey, we got a kiosk right here. If there's any, this is why I'm talking college football, because it's going to get your brain working, and I got to go put some college football bets in.
If Tosh Lupoy, if anybody's going to be able to have that kind of turnaround, it's going to be a guy that knows that I need Jimmys and Joes. Yeah. I don't know what he is as a head coach. I don't know how confident I am in him in that way.
He brought a chunk of Oregon guys with him down there that were reserve kind of role players that'll probably step into bigger roles down there.
He kept the Cal kid, the quarterback. He's got a good running. Like, dude, why would you not pay a futures on Cal potentially in a garbage conference like that?
Ironically, they seem like that team like a month into the year. Remember we were talking about them because they beat Oregon State. Yep. They rattled a couple off.
I think they started 3-0.
Yeah, they're like,
they were like 5-0, and people were like, "Is Wilcox going to get to the playoff?" And then he
got fired.
Lost a really dumb game. By the way, follow up.
Yeah,
I went and asked our Oregon State bowling shirt guy with the notebook. I said, hey, I got to know what the notebook is about. What's going on here?
What's the backstory?
He said it's for his actual work.
Oh,
which I'm like,
stupid.
what job are you able to skip out on? But
writing notes in a notebook?
Keep a notebook, like a handwritten notebook.
That's dumb. It's a Friday.
But he goes, I do have notes in here from yesterday. And I go, okay, so you have notes from the games. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, the more you know, the less you win. That was me yesterday. So we're turning the page.
That's
I
right.
said, okay, great. Good to know. So he does actually have notes.
I love the metaphor.
But none of the notes actually worked for him, and he lost all his bets yesterday. But he's back again, baby.
You're back. That's what we do. You jump back in that saddle.
When a shooter's missing, you know what they got to do?
Keep shooting, man.
Same thing here.
Shooters got to shoot.
Shooters got to shoot, man.
That's the lesson of the day. We're live out at A. Day 2 of the NCAA tournament. Fan Madness about to get underway. 9:15, first game starting out, and boy, oh boy, do we got a lot on the line first game out of the gate. So,
by the way, we have 2 chairs left of the 3-row leather chairs.
Yes,
2.
they are almost completely full.
And they might be taken, and guys might be in the bathroom. I don't even know at this point.
Very well could be. We're all riding on Santa Clara right out of the gate today. So 9:15, our last 45 minutes will be a tightrope walk.
Swag,
and we'll see how
better.
they do. Don't let us down, Swag. And we need the zips. We need the zips on an early Friday morning to zip it up and get a win.
We need it.
So that is what we're rooting for in the final hour. Games are about to tip off. Let's get into it. And we'll spring line coming up at 9:30. Loaded final hour live out at A. Fan Madness Day 2. Back after this. 105.1 FM The Fan.
You love your land, and you have plans.
At Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Day 2 of the NCAA tournament set to tip off in moments. First up, 10th-seeded Santa Clara and 7th-seeded Kentucky will go on Coin 6. 9:40 a.m. True TV has 12th-seeded Akron facing 5th-seeded Texas Tech. 10:35 over on TNT. Top seed in the West is Arizona. They'll face 16th seed Long Island University, and at 10:50, 14th seed Wright State and 3rd seeded Virginia. The NCAA women's tournament is underway this morning. Right now, 3rd seeded Duke In the Sacramento region, leads 14 seed Charleston 25-16 at the end of the first quarter. 8 seed Oregon is up at 10:30, taking on 9 seed Virginia Tech. You can hear that on 910 ESPN Portland with pregame coverage beginning at 10 a.m. Blazers are on the road in Minnesota. 5 o'clock tip on KUNP Xfinity Channel 1016. They're taking on a Timberwolves squad that will not have Anthony Edwards. Portland starts the night tied with the Clippers for 8th after they lost to the Pelicans on Thursday. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigart from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks. AM, The Fan.
Hey, let's do this final hour. Dirt and Sprague here, Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan, 1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Having a blast. Day 2 of the NCAA tournament. We're at Tom's Watch Bar up here at A&A. Live, and all the shows will be live the rest of the day. We were the only ones yesterday. Came up after the show. Everybody else was up here yesterday afternoon and last night, and primetime wrapped it up at 7, and then we got a little bit of a delayed start today, but having a blast. This place is already packed. Games are about to get underway. They're going to get all the channels, I'm sure, organized and ready to go. First game tipping off here about 13 minutes from now. We've had a bunch of listeners stop by, say hello, so it's been great to meet some people and put some names and faces and all that this morning. I got a Bloody Mary on the way, so, when in Rome, why not? Somebody asked me what drink I wanted. I'll take a Bloody Mary.
We got a guy here. He just walked past us, and I need his T-shirt.
Just cover.
just cover with a happy basketball.
I think Barstool sells those. They got hats that say just cover or bet the over. Like you can get the gambling angle hats, which are just, For next year when we're up here, we're going to need something.
That's the punt sweatshirt.
Yeah, exactly. Something along those lines. The punt sweatshirt of gambling. Packed house, day 2 of the tournament, getting ready to rock and roll. Before we get into some of the matchups, just want to make sure we thank everybody once again for joining us today for all the action at Tom's Watch Bar. Fan Madness brought to you by A&A, Window Nation, George McCoy at Warren Allen Attorneys at Law, Cricket Wireless, and Video Only. I thought delightful day 1 of the tournament. Perfect, maybe too strong of a word, but it was competitive.
Yeah.
Not a lot of blowouts. You had one of the 1 seeds go, could something happen here? Hell, I'll even mention the Michigan game. What were they up at halftime? They ended up winning the game by 20+, but that was like a 5-point game at halftime. It was like 51-46, something like that.
They're interesting. I have them winning the title, and I kind of have buyer's remorse on that.
Dude, they gave up 80 to Howard yesterday, which maybe we're nitpicking because they won by 21. But
I know, but if you look at go look at the game logs, and I'm not kidding. I think after the Duke loss, they've kind of been getting through. Like they're winning most of these games, right? Their record's amazing, but they're a little tight, a little uncomfortable. Not the Michigan wagon that we saw for about 60% of the season.
No doubt about it. Full slate today. Give me 1 or 2 things that we're most excited to see today. You got Rick Pitino going. You got, let's see, what
I'm
else?
excited to see the Mark Pope gets fired game.
Yeah, Kentucky.
That's a betting angle. And also, I think you're right. Like, if Kentucky loses to Santa Clara, I was in Santa Clara in August. I went by the university. If that university beats Kentucky, you should fire him.
They are a 3.5-point favorite out of the gate this morning. That's first game up, just about to tip off.
They did not have a good year. They're only 3.5-point favorites, again, over Santa Clara. And so, to me, North Carolina are 2 jobs that should be open if they both lose, and we already know North Carolina lost.
Yeah.
Tech is interesting. I think a lot of people are on the Zips, myself included, with the points. You like the money line there, and I know the Zips score a lot of points based on what I saw. Texas Tech without JT Toppin, who was debatably the best player in the Big 12, outside of DeBonza, of course.
Yes.
Very, I don't know, man. Oh, Peterson, too. God, Big 12 pretty loaded.
Big 12's pretty loaded.
But JT Toppin was debatably their best player.
Yes.
Are we overlooking Texas Tech here a little bit? There was something like yesterday, Louisville was kind of a trendy upset pick.
Yeah, when they become trendy, I get a little worried. South Florida was a trendy team yesterday.
And South Florida came back at the very end and made it somewhat respectable. But for a long stretch there, Louisville was kind of thumping South Florida. I kind of wonder if that's going to end up happening against us, and I hope it doesn't. Other than that, Wright State, Virginia, okay. Alabama going through what they've gone through off the court. I don't know anything about Hofstra, but maybe some of the off-court noise
you want a crazy
gets you a little bit.
Parlay number 2 that probably won't cash because it's all games today, and I will come back and cash this one because it's like an $800 payout.
Sure.
Haas from Moneyline is in my parlay.
Do you know what that is?
I can't remember.
It's got to be
plus
like
600, plus 700.
It's got to be something crazy
range.
like that. And Miami, Ohio, they're the big debated team.
Yes.
The fighting Rick Barnes, who is basically known to people as a notorious NCAA choke artist coach. I really like Tennessee in this one, and it's not to say Miami, Ohio isn't good. It's just to simply say I don't think they're as good as their record indicates.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that can be a thing, by the way.
Yeah.
You can have a very good record, and your stats and your numbers don't kind of hint at a great team. I want to see if Tennessee comes out and takes care of Miami, Ohio, or Miami, Ohio could be sitting here saying, dude, we won our play-in. We're going to the round of 32.
How much S are they going to talk if they win that game, too?
Because
that's an SEC team and the Auburn thing and all that Pearl stuff. Like, that dude's going to run his mouth if they win that game.
Which conference, the theme of the first 2 days, aside from storylines of underdog teams and players we learn about, the story could be the ACC or the SEC. Which conference is going to be most disappointing in this?
Yeah.
Because the SEC got thumped last night. I know that's just one loss, but that's a bad loss.
It's just one game, yeah. Who lays an egg, though? Because you got Kentucky up first. If they are to lose, that would be a bad one. You got Alabama without one of their best players.
Tennessee.
A pound of weed. Tennessee, who is, we'll see how they do.
Yeah, and Florida.
And Florida.
But I tend to think they're going to handle. Well, we said that about Duke.
And then
Duke
you got
was
Missouri in a 10-7
Yeah.
game, too, tonight against Miami. That's the last game of the night.
ACC, SEC, kind of like, hey, you guys got to clean up yourselves a little bit here. ACC, not great. Well, Carolina did last night. Duke didn't, look stellar against Siena. So I think there's a lot of little storylines. A lot of them are bet-oriented, I think, for people, especially hanging out here at A. But also I think the ACC SEC stuff is it's interesting as you kind of examine the field and the way it's going.
For sure. And a lot of that storyline stuff will come out of today. Swag, what are you most looking forward to? Day 2 of the tournament? I know we're all on Santa Clara this morning. Anything else catching your eye?
Yeah, I am quite interested in that. I want to see what Alabama does, not only not having their second leading scorer, but just kind of the shock of or how shocked they were. I'm curious how nobody knew that was going on, but whatever. What they've got cooking. Hofstra, by the way, plus 525 on the money line there for you against Bama.
Yep.
The other one I'm interested in is, where is it? UCLA and UCF.
Okay.
That'll be later on this afternoon. I got UCF. I just think UCLA, if Bilodeau is out, another former Beav at a Division I program, there's a bunch of them. If you haven't noticed, TCU had one, Lila Vicious. He was a former Beav.
Pope last night with Texas.
Exactly. They're all over the place. So they had a nice finish to the season, but I don't know if UCLA can score enough in the tournament. That'll be interesting. And Utah State, that's at 1 o'clock because that'll be going in. They are actually favorites as the lower seed. They're 1.5-point favorites to take Villanova out.
And Villanova's coach is the guy who, remember, he was
Willard.
Willard. He was awkwardly staying at Maryland until he wasn't.
Right, that's right. Talking about resources as if he wasn't going to take the job when everybody knew he was going to take the job following the tournament.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, man. This place is getting crowded. First game's about to tip off. Yeah, there's not much else to add for day 2 for me. I mean, obviously we got our eyes on Santa Clara and Akron right out of the gate. Those will be fun. Outside of that, the rest of the day, I got one of the biggest things that I'm rooting for, and we did this segment earlier in the week, and I felt it again yesterday. To me, just coaches are the storyline of the tournament. Like, DeBonce's out. He might have been the best player in the tournament. He might be the number 1 pick in the draft. Coaches, to me, tell the story. Calipari wins, and I want to do a little bit on him here in a moment because he said some stuff after the game that I loved. Rick Pitino playing today for St. John's, and St. John's 1 being back.
Coaching
the program
today.
They were coaching
Pitino
today.
ain't playing today.
You know what I mean, though. Yeah, get him out there, right? He gets
Pitino's always playing.
He's always playing. You're damn right he is.
What did Strickland call him?
The Don Dada of college basketball, man.
I love that.
Let me find that story. He told a story about.
Can we get a photo of Pitino on a T-shirt in the fan merch locker that just says
Don
underneath
Dada.
his photo Don Dada? That is amazing.
So he mentioned this. So he played for Pitino when he was a Knick.
Yeah.
They didn't play. He didn't coach him in college because Pitino never coached DePaul, did he? Did he coach DePaul?
No.
Wait, you mean
No.
was Pitino a Celtic?
Well, he coached the Celtics, and then later on
Strickland
he coached
said
the Knicks.
He said, "I love playing for Rick
okay.
Pitino."
All right.
And
No,
there was a
Pitino
picture-
came up at Providence. Was the school he first. He got him to the Final Four
Right.
with Billy Donovan
God,
playing.
he's been
for him.
around forever. I can't
So
remember.
I meant
all
to
his
send this
stuff.
to Swag. I forgot, but I'll just read the quote. Food or drinks are here. But Strickland said yesterday. He started the 3-point shooting trend in basketball way before anybody else. And then he mentioned my DePaul jersey got retired this year, and DePaul was playing St. John's.
Yeah.
In the game, and Pitino called him. And I don't know if DePaul's short on cash or what. Pitino called him as the opposing team in the game and said, "We're going to fly you on a private jet to go to the game." And he flew. So the St. John's coach paid for Rod Strickland to fly to go to DePaul to see his jersey get retired in a game they were playing St. John's.
Man, that's cool.
And he said that says it all. He's the Don Dada of college basketball.
Don Dada.
Look, the guy's shady. He's
they're all
slimy.
shady. You stop
They're all
it.
shady
You
and slimy.
stop it.
That's
your moral compass out here. They're all shady.
one of the bigger storylines of the day for me is him. Northern Iowa has been known as a thorn in the side in opening round games. St. John's losing today.
Well, they can't shoot. I mean, they're such a weird team. They could be in the Final Four. They could lose today to Northern Iowa.
I know.
I'm going to assume. I don't know anything about Northern Iowa.
I don't either.
Other than I'm going to guess that they can shoot the basketball.
They got a white guy that can shoot on that team.
That's a bet.
I'm willing to bet $100.
Can you go over that kiosk and bet?
White guy, Northern
Yes.
Iowa, nails shooting the basketball.
White guy that can shoot at Northern Iowa. Yes or no? Yes, and then we see it play out, and then there you go. There's the game.
I'm rooting like hell for St. John's today. It's one of the things I'm keeping an eye on. I mentioned Calipari there. I want to give him a shout-out because he said something last night. Dude, I don't know how people felt about Calipari. Our city's been drugged through the mud a little bit. Tip of the cap to this guy. I'll tell you what he said. We'll talk about that coming up next. A little bit more on the tournament. We'll Sprague Line coming up bottom of the hour live out at A&A. Day 2, Fan Madness, about to get underway. Back after this on 105.1 FM, The Fan.
When the tournament moment calls for bold, break your beak. Beak Breaker IPA from Pelican Brewing. Enough to break your beak, not your bracket.
High Point's got the rebound and the outlet to Johnston. And his first two-pointer of the year gives High Point the lead.
That was Brad Nessler on the call yesterday as on TBS, excuse me. High Point breaking up a lot of brackets. Day 1 of the tournament, upset over Wisconsin. First time they've won a tournament game in program history.
Yeah, that was a great game. The fact that they came back the way they did and fought as hard as they did and then end up getting that breakaway layup. Devastation for Wisconsin to choke away that game, but a great first NCAA tournament win for the Fighting High Point. Nessler Zerbiak. I'm enjoying the call.
Good crew. I didn't know that either of them were in Portland. Gary Danielson's not there.
I think you owe an apology. Nessler and Zerbiak were good.
Bragg Bus Report brought to you by Beak Breaker IPA from Pelican Brewing, packed with citrus hops, killer aroma, smooth finish. Beak Breaker, enough to break your beak, not your bracket.
Feeling the tourney vibes?
The Fan.
All right, welcome back in. Kentucky Santa Clara underway. It's on 3 giant screens to our left.
I swear, Swigard.
They're down 5-2.
We will Dudley boy you through a table if you give us the wrong pick.
It's 8-2. They're getting killed.
Well, you know the
whole
parlay
is cooked.
Santa Clara has
It's
an NBA
over.
guy, and that's been his whole thing is, they got an NBA guy. And I'm like, Kentucky has 9 of them.
Swigard, we got a lot on the line here. Come on, Santa Clara, you better wake up.
Patience. It's
early.
Just settle down.
I'm gonna
Stressing me out
down
over
by 15.
here.
Oh, count the bucket.
Yeah, that was continuation if I ever saw it.
All right, we'll try not to do live play-by-play. Game 1 underway. Game 2.
Those jerseys are so ugly.
The Santa Clara jerseys.
Update your jersey. What is it, 1981 Santa Clara? What are we doing
like
here?
JV high school basketball
They
jerseys.
do, the hand-me-down middle school jersey.
Next one starts 9:40 is Akron and Texas Tech. So game 1 underway. Sportsbook is literally packed in front of us. Patrick Harris is here. He's getting ready to hang out.
Yep.
So stop by A&A. We are live out here rest of the day. Our week kind of started with talking about the idea of who's coming to Portland because we're hosting the tournament.
Damn, I'm hungry, dude.
I know. I'm getting there too. And I went on a little bit of rant that got clipped on social media, and then it turns into oh yeah, really, Portland actually does suck. And it was the idea of like Arkansas fans not wanting to come here.
Portland has its problems. There's no doubt.
Of course it does. Every city has their problems.
But it's the narrative-based stuff that I find dumb as somebody
like
who literally works in downtown
Tehran,
every day.
Dude, you're not going to get stabbed. You're going to be fine. Don't be a pansy ass. Anyways.
Yeah.
One of the guys who came out, I mentioned the tweet, I think the segment was on Monday, and it was Calipari, the head coach at Arkansas. They're coming to Portland, and he sent out a thing about how excited he was to come. Looked like a lot of Arkansas fans were in town for the game yesterday.
A good showing, I think, by most fan bases.
All of them were solid, and it was a nice day. Like, it wasn't super rainy. Go check out the cherry blossoms, walk around, get a donut and a coffee. You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Hit up a titty bar if you need to. I dropped that. Anyways, Calipari, sorry. Calipari after the game. That was on me.
You know what? That's not even the most egregious thing that's happened during our show today.
No, it is not.
Because we started at 6:30.
I can't get in trouble for that. I was here on time today. Anyways, I digress. After the game last night, Calipari did it again, where he was asked at the podium, like, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to enjoy the win, all that? And he said, well, I got some film to watch, but you know what the first thing I'm going to do is? I'm going to go walk the streets of Portland. And he did. There were pictures all over social media of him yesterday going into like local coffee shops.
How cool is that?
And talking to people. And there was some guy who runs a local business, and he was like telling Calipari about his business. He was like, dude, you want a picture? He's like, yeah. He was doing like signing autographs and taking photos of people. So a guy who genuinely, like, you get that a lot where people will say a certain thing and then act totally different.
Sure.
He put his money where, like, he was going to local shops and stuff. So, look, I know that he's a slimy character. Some people probably don't like him because of the figure he's been in the sport. I've always been pro Calipari because I appreciate his honesty. Even more so now, man. That was awesome to see. Our city's got a lot to be proud of despite our faults, which we certainly have. And kudos to John Calipari for going out and being around the public.
I think Calipari's one that, like, if I think back to when we started this in 2012, I probably have 8 different points of, like, going back and forth on him.
Hate him, love him,
hate him. No, but,
hate
like, slimy-ish. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I always thought the Memphis thing was kind of stupid. I think the whole taking away accomplishments is dumb.
Really dumb.
That being said, he is really good for the sport, and I know that he's got the car salesman stuff, the slick back hair and the year-round tans, like all that. But, dude, I find him to be pretty genuine, authentic, and somebody who does care. You can say, like, oh, really? Yeah, he dabbles in the one-and-dones. Sue him. He also had a point where he came out and said, you know, who's dumb enough to keep recruiting high school kids? I guess I am. And he's kind of, you know, he'll call himself out from time to time in a fun way. I'm with you, man. I thought the conversation we had and then reading comments, it was like so stupid, like just so mind-numbingly stupid. I'm in downtown 5 days a week. I go to downtown all the time on the weekend. Does it have some roads where you're like, well, not going down this block?
Right.
Yeah. I dare you to find how many top 25 major metropolitan cities don't have that. So I don't know, man. I think some of the narrative-based stuff is so stupid. Pretty cool to hear that he was exploring the
man, he's walking
city.
around, going to coffee shops. You can look up different pictures of Calipari just in random shops and grabbing coffee in Portland. Really cool. And they got a game tomorrow night. I'm rooting for him just because I think, I mentioned it earlier in the week, I think coaches are the story of the tournament, and he's one of the most iconic in the history of the sport, and let alone active coaches.
Yeah.
And so him going on a run, I think, would be a lot of fun. Santa Clara, Kentucky, 10-8. So a little comeback from Santa Clara. Kentucky just hit a layup.
And a goaltend.
Oh, is it a goaltend call?
Yeah, it's a goaltend.
Yeah, touche. And so they're going to go to timeout. 15 minutes left in the first half. 10-8 Kentucky.
You got a 2.5. You're covering.
Right now, we're covering the spread.
Covering the spread.
I think it closed at 3.5. A little bit of money came on Kentucky at the end. I'm not sure what it was here at A, but I think that's what it closed at.
Okay.
So we got a lot to look forward to, man. Day 2 of the NCAA tournament underway. Place is absolutely packed. Anything else we're keeping an eye on this weekend, or is this about it?
Oh, man. For the weekend, it's so much tournament for me.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, I'm going to try.
I'll keep an eye on the NBA, obviously, because I watch it. I know we make jokes about it. I probably will at some point catch some of the final round of the Valspar and be like, that happened in the third, huh? This guy's up, that guy's down.
Depending on the leaderboard and all that.
Outside of that, man, no. It's NCAA tournament weekend. Women just tipped off today. You got the other first games. You got the second rounds tomorrow. Our city is hosting some second round games. This is tournament time, man. We don't get the tournament but once a year. So I'm going to enjoy the tournament as much as I possibly can.
You got any takeaways on The Bachelorette getting canceled?
I almost put it in the Magic Hat, and I didn't. And I know you don't know as much about Taylor Frankie Paul.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
I will tell you, as somebody that's watched 5 episodes of The Secret Lives.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Did I watch 2 with my wife and 3 by myself? Yeah, I did. It's a interesting show. A lot of Utah hots.
Yeah.
And it's messy, right? It's Mormons who are on the down low living some unfaithful situations is what I would say. She became the star from it.
Yes.
She's gorgeous, but she's very problematic in the show. What I find interesting is ABC kind of being unaware that she's problematic.
Yeah, didn't the video circulate happen on the filming of the show?
Like literally during the show.
Yeah.
Yes. And like people on that show were like, I don't want to work with her anymore. And it became a problem for that show. So then they choose her to be the Bachelorette, and then this video of domestic violence comes out. And then we find out she calls this guy. Get this, I don't even know how. 118 times a day.
Yeah. I think it was. I don't know if it's a day, but in one night there was a picture of her calling him 118 times.
Dude, he said that it was not unnormal for him to get that many calls. I don't even call my wife once a day on average. I probably call her twice a week. It's
you guys
just
don't
texting.
call once a day?
No.
Okay.
Well, she works from home, so I can't get home from. What am I going to call
That's true.
her?
Yeah, if she's at home, yeah.
We don't like talking on the phone anyway. She basically answers what?
What do you want?
So calling somebody 118 times a day is...
Your wife and me are identical. My wife calls me sometimes on her way home. I'm like, I'm going to see you in like 6 minutes. You can just tell me when you get home.
I know.
Then you get the details of the day, and it's like, all right. Well, what are we going to talk about when you get home? You just gave me all the deets of your day.
If I call you, it means I literally have to, I'm in, hey, what do you want me to order? Or this is happening.
Yes, yeah.
Otherwise, I'll shoot your text, but 118 times is a crazy amount. She's gorgeous, but she's nuts. And, dude, ABC has to be eating a ton of money on that to cancel it.
Yeah.
And they were getting a lot of canceled advertisers.
So there's actually a sports spinoff here. They're going to lose millions of dollars on this because it's one of their biggest programs that they run. I don't
they
watch
just spent,
it, but it's huge.
a month, 2 months to film it all?
Dude, she's been all over their shoulder programming, highlighting it, pitching it, all that, selling it, right?
She was doing interviews 2 days ago.
Yes, and then they just
this.
shut it down. I saw somebody brought up the point, and the big winner out of all this might actually end up being the women's NCAA tournament. Because ESPN, ABC have the rights to the tournament, and people have argued
they're going to move the games to it.
Just put the games on ABC. You need programming. You don't have any other programming.
Yeah.
What's readily available? Women's college basketball. What rated incredibly well? So there might end up being a sports play there where they end up being a massive winner. That actually just reminded me of something too. And this is to a Magic Hat segment we did yesterday.
Yeah.
The number came in. Did you see the number for the World Baseball Classic game?
I did not.
Huge. Let me find it.
The final?
Yeah. Where did it go?
Santa Clara's up. Santa Clara's up.
I want to say, we got a lead, 11-10.
11-10.
It's over.
Let's overreact.
I'm going to go cash my ticket right now.
Swag,
you're a genius. You're a genius,
You're
Swag.
so smart, Swag.
You're a genius. God, where did it go? I should have.
Like, give me a rough estimate.
It was somewhere in the 15 million range.
Yeah.
For the championship game.
I mean, it's
And
an
people
international
pointed to-
game. That's,
Can we ask a question?
Yeah.
To get hot takey on a Friday?
Well, you got
As I'm
mad at my hot takes earlier about Luka Doncic shooting game-winning shots.
As I'm supposed to go to break.
Yeah.
Great timing to do this. Is baseball the second most popular sport in America again?
Oh, I think no, it's not bigger than college football.
Touche, professional league.
Professionally, of the core four,
Because people were doing
I actually don't think it's close right now.
I think NBA Finals average rating, now Game 7 I'm sure was huge.
Sure.
Average for the series I think was 11 million.
Yeah.
And the World Series was slightly above that. And then people pointed to the World Baseball Classic game of like, that got more viewers than the average NBA Final game.
The NBA Finals best rating is still, like, as of, 15 years?
Yeah.
It's 2016 Game 7 Cleveland Golden State. Like, they haven't been able to top that. Yeah. So
I overestimated a little bit, by the way. I finally saw it. Just shy of 11 million, but
that's
still
great.
top the average of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said this last year during the baseball playoffs in the World Series. I think when you get a Dodger Yankees or a Toronto Dodgers, like when you have mainstay teams paired with
Big
pretty
cities,
high-level
coast to
drama,
coast,
and coast to coast, yeah, dude, I actually don't know how close it particularly is. Now, the regular season, I think they're going to do really well on NBC. I think their Sunday night games, they're going to be on AB.
For baseball,
For baseball,
yeah.
I think we're going to find out they're going to get really good numbers, and I think that's going to make the NBA feel even more worrisome because baseball is such a long regular season, and I think we're going to find that more people are watching regular season baseball than NBA.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, if we took the core four pro sports leagues, I would say right now, and joke's on me because me and Cam Cleveland got into this years ago. Baseball is, I would say, the second biggest, with basketball third and a hockey pretty distant fourth. No disrespect to you and your Iceman.
Oh, I know we're in last place. Above the MLS, though, probably.
Well,
anyways, I saw
we said core four.
That's true.
And we love our Timbers. We have Timber Patrick.
That's also,
Timber fan.
like, if you're saying core four, I will also be honest. That's the gif of the three dragons and then the stupid-looking dragon.
The goofy one?
The NHL's in the back end. And I love the NHL, but
I would argue if you did the goofy dragon gif, it would be
world.
It would be NFL, college football, MLB, and then the goofy one is a two-headed off one. That's NBA, NHL. And they're like, we're also here.
Anyways, that was a long-about way to say baseball, nice little moment, and they're probably going to lock out now because every time baseball has something good going for it, they find a way to screw it all up.
Dude, the season starts next week.
Next Wednesday.
I'm getting my Braves package purchased. Like, I'm jacked for the regular season baseball. I'm looking forward to some summer random garages open, 1 o'clock start times. Hey, man, get some stuff done with some baseball in the background. I'm going for that vibe.
Going to be a lot of fun. It all starts up next Wednesday. Let's get to Sprague in the Line. What do we got tickets on? What are we gambling on? We'll let you know. Fill you in on our parlays. Game 1 underway of day 2 of the tournament. We are up here, Fan Madness, Tom's Watch Bar, Day and Lene, having a blast. Sprague in the Line is next, but first, here's us with a update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by Mountaintop Metal Roofing. No maintenance, energy efficient, fire resistant, and a lifetime warranty. Do it once, do it right. Visit mountaintopmetalroofing.com. First on the Fan, the Portland Pilots women advancing to round 2 of the WNIT with a 62-59 win over the Bearcats of Sam Houston Thursday night. The Pilots overcoming 30 turnovers to get the victory. They shot 57% in the fourth quarter to pull away late.
Every year, Monarch butterflies travel nearly 3,000 miles from Canada to the U.S. For 62 miles north of Mexico City. They were actually becoming worried by this because the migratory pattern of monarchs had declined by 80%.
80?
In the 90s.
What?
They were worried they were going to go extinct in our lifetime. However, a new study has concluded that protecting a forest and significant reduction in forest degradation is becoming critical to the winter habitat, and staggering numbers, 64% increase in population.
Ooh, I like that. Every golf tournament on the slate does something a little bit different that's fun. At the Valspar, which is going on right now, you know what they do? They allow the caddy to choose, or the player, to choose what goes on the back of the caddy vest that they wear.
Oh, the name.
So
bib.
you can write, the bib. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
the
what I'm
bib.
looking for. So people will say so-and-so's dad, right? You just put whatever joke you want on there. Alejandro Tosti, who is a PGA Tour player, is a bachelor. He's desperate. He had his caddy need a wife. And somebody interviewed him after the round. They were like, is this for you or the caddy? He says, for me. He said, I love cooking. I like outdoor activities. Like, dude, this guy's like actively, this is his dating profile. So he's playing this weekend, and his caddy's got a bib that says need a wife on the back of it.
Swipe right on Toasty.
There you go. More WNIT and butterfly and golf stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time. 1080 AM, The Fan.
All right, well, now we got to wait now.
I mean, you had it right there. You could have said something.
I couldn't. That's too quick. I can't. You got to let the chorus kick back in here. We get long liners. It's all right. Here we go. Everybody ready? Warming up.
I can't hear it anymore. Can you hear it?
Sprague in the line.
Sprague in the line.
Sprague in the line.
Sprague in the line. I can't hear it.
It sounds good. You can't hear it? You going? I think I'm going deaf, dude.
No. I mean, like, I know I'm going deaf. Like, I'm legitimately. I go to so many family situations and somebody will say something and I don't respond, and they're like, is he ignoring me? And my wife will be like, no, he's just deaf. And I'll turn around and be like, what? But yeah, the station in my headphones today, I've barely been able to hear Swag.
Well, yeah.
Half of what you teed up. Swag, what are you looking for today? I heard half of what he said.
Swag is so loud in my headphones, it's not even funny.
It's the opposite for me. I can barely hear him. It sounds like me teasing that we're now the home of the Portland. Don't worry, though. You can catch that game on The Fan or 910 because we're the home of the big match this weekend, though. Big match. Big match.
Focus. All right.
You got this.
We're almost done. All right.
You might get the announcement, by the way. I'm out next week.
You are out. This is our last show together for a while.
I know.
Kentucky, Santa Clara, 18-16.
Dude,
Kentucky's got a lead.
Right where we need it to be.
9 minutes to go.
Because the pucker factor is going to be on them if this is closely.
You know what Santa Clara does? I've watched them all year. They drag you out into the deep end and they choke you out. Okay, they're gonna drown their ass today.
My nephew's.
God, that was almost an air ball.
My brother-in-law's nephew plays baseball at Santa Clara. So randomly, I watch like 5 Santa Clara baseball games on ESPN Plus at his house.
Why not, dude? I would too. Santa Clara down by 2. The next game just about to get underway. About 5 minutes from now.
Is Herb Sendek the Santa Clara coach?
Yes.
Yes.
Herb Sendek's back in my life?
How'd you not know that?
And I need him to lend me money? 7 or 8 years.
7 or 8 years. That's a long time.
Look, we all learned something. We're all on this journey together, okay? Nobody has any clue what the hell's going on, but it's fun. That's why we like gambling on it, because we don't watch it all year. It's exotic.
I don't think Meringue's breathing. He's eating a breakfast sandwich. I don't think he's breathing.
You got 20 minutes, Meringue. Pace yourself,
Meringue's
buddy. You got time, all right?
Enjoying that breakfast sandwich, baby.
Okay, here's what we're on today. First game of the day, we are on Santa Clara money line.
We are.
You and I, lockstep there.
Yep.
Now, we're both rooting for Akron for different reasons. You have Akron plus, was it 7.5 or 6.5?
7.5.
Okay, 7.5.
7.5.
I got Akron money line. I need that one right out of the gate.
I need the 7.5. I'm too scared.
Those are the last two that I need for my can't lose, must win parlay of the day. I'm definitely going to cash this ticket. So those are the games I'm rooting for right out of the gate. What else do you have on your bingo card today?
I have at 10:50 the Wright State 14 seed Wright State fighting Wright States. I don't know what their mascot is. What is Wright State? I love Wright State.
Looks like a dog.
Yeah, okay.
Raiders.
Yeah, you were close.
But it is a dog.
Are dogs Raiders?
I don't know. The Wright State Raiders, first in the Horizon League with a dog mascot. They're called the Raiders.
I was coaching at a school, by the way, a high school that calls themselves the Raptors, and their logo is an eagle. And a kid is like, why isn't it a dinosaur? And I was like, well, technically a raptor is a bird of prey, and it's very confusing though to kids who don't know anything about that. You know.
Get
Anyways,
your logic out of here.
I got Wright State plus 17.5 against UVA.
I like that one. I got that in a different parlay too.
I like it.
I'm riding the Miami, Ohio train too. I got a ticket on them money line today. Why not? I put that one in.
You went Miami, Ohio?
I did, dude.
I think Tennessee's going to whoop them, but I hope you're right.
I don't blame you for thinking that. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've watched Tennessee play a moment of basketball all year.
Right.
So I got those on the bingo card today. I do have Wright State plus the 18.5 or 17.5, whatever it is, against Virginia. Swag, are you coming out right after the show today?
No, he can't.
Why not?
He won't be out here at all. He's got a family event, and he's got WNIT games to get ready for.
Are they playing again today?
Saturday.
They'll play Sunday.
He has a family event.
But, family event.
Family obligation. We won't see Swag at A this year. I will say after the show, I'm laying some futures.
Yeah, me too.
We're going Atlanta Braves and NL East, no doubt.
Okay.
No doubt. Never doubt us. We're going to go San Francisco 49ers NFC West because they're the third best odds in the division. So, why not? That's good, juicy odds.
Decent payout.
And I'm going to go some college football futures. I'm going to bet the over-under of whatever my Oregon State Beavs are.
Okay.
I don't know what that
over-under?
I don't
1.5?
That was unnecessary. You know it's been hard. You know they're down. Why'd you do that to us?
I'm sorry.
1.5?
I mean, you won 2 last year.
Well, they would have hit the over then, you jerk. It has to be like 4.5, 5, right? If I go bowling, I think I hit an over. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, if they go bowling, you're for sure hitting it over.
I think that's the over-under.
I don't know why I can't find over-unders.
And I'm probably going to bet somewhere on that kiosk. I think I saw it. One of the favorites, since we're here in Ridgefield, Washington, one of the hot, trendy bets you can bet is Oregon to lose their biggest game of the year by 30. So I think I'm gonna bet that one too.
Well played.
My Bees will win 3 games.
Well played. Well played. Oregon to lose by 40 in a semifinal against a team that they already played and probably beat, or at least came close to beating, and then they'll throw a pick 6 on the first play of the game. Yeah, I'm going to go put money on Oregon to win a national title, and I know it won't happen.
What about Dante Heisman? That's probably a juicy little Heisman bet.
Yeah, it's not bad. I just don't want to. I don't know if I want one big parlay or if I want one to ruin the other one, or if I want 2 separate tickets.
No, do 2 separate
ones. I might
ones.
do 2 separate tickets.
2 separate tickets.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Why not?
Are you going to gamble? Like, are you going to go to a table?
I'm not a gamble kind of guy.
Patrick said he went up 300 yesterday.
If you can do it, that's a hell of a time.
I just don't have that kind of luck when I sit down.
I don't have that kind of patience sitting that's not my cup of tea. I come to the things like this for the sportsbook and the sportsbook only.
I did one year. I was out here. I ran a heater on a Texas Hold'em table. And by heater, I mean I won like 6 straight. Yeah. Nothing crazy. One of the games, I had no idea what I was doing. They were like, "Do you want to add to the boat?" I was like, "What's the boat?"
Get in the boat,
dude. The dealer goes, "You want the boat?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's load the boat."
I'm not saying no to a boat.
We loaded up the boat. We held them. We got them.
Did the boat win?
Yeah, it like doubled something up. I was like, all right, more money.
I'll boat it up.
Let's get out of here.
We got Texas Tech, Akron just tipping off, and great. Akron's already down 4-0. All right, this parlay's getting cooked.
That's why you take 7.5.
We got time. Long ways to go. So the slate is underway. Spring in the line every Friday, especially on a tournament day, live out here at Ayla Day. Tom's Watch Bar, the place to be. Let's put a bow on the show. Send you off into your weekend. Sprague's off next week, so we're not going to hear from him. So we'll get Sprague's final thoughts on the next weeks of activities.
Oh, thank you. I wrote notes about next week's activities.
Akron hit a 3. We're back,
We're
baby.
back.
Akron's
We're right there.
Here come the Zips.
Plus 7.5 Zips.
Wrap it up on a Friday. Live from Ayla Day next. 105.1 FM, The Fan.
The Fan's YouTube channel.
There you go. Fist pumping your way into the weekend every single Friday. Last one of the day for us. Eventful, interesting Friday, to say the least. Quick score update for you. Couple of games going on. We got Akron and Texas Tech.
Let's go.
Texas Tech with a 6-5 lead.
Hanging around 7.5, baby.
14 minutes to go in the first half. And we got another timeout in the Kentucky-Santa Clara game. That one is 26-23 with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Texas Tech just hit a 3. So back and forth we go. First 2 games of the day are underway. Kind of a unique show for us today. 1, because we weren't on the air till 6:30. And 2, because we're off. Well, we're not off, but we're not going to do a show together for a while. You're out next week.
Yeah.
Spring break. You guys do anything fun?
Yeah, we're going to go up to visit my dad and stepmom and some family up in the Tacoma, Lakewood area.
You're going to get around into Chambers Bay when you drive up there? Snag a tea time, dude. Winter rates probably still in effect. It's probably not as expensive as it is in prime season.
No, we're doing we're not going to see people for Easter, so we're doing look
ahead Easter
spot.
Because
I don't see my nieces and nephews very often up there because of the distance. It's just tough and everybody's lives are crazy. But
yeah, it's hard to get everybody together.
It's going to be pretty family heavy. I probably won't get any golf in, which is unfortunate. They got a couple courses up there, not just Chambers that I enjoy. But
yeah,
be up there for a while, and then we have a coast trip already planned. The funny thing is, so yesterday I had to pick my kid up from school early at a doctor's appointment, and she's a middle schooler. So I pull out of middle school. Another parent is there to pick up his kid. Actually, half the school is gone already because the rates, I think, this week to travel are cheaper.
So much cheaper.
Dude, one dad is picking up his kids, and the teacher's like, got any plans for spring break? And he's like, yeah, so let's fly to Maui today. And she's like, how excited for that? He goes, it's only been flash flooding and raining every day, and it's supposed to be raining the entire next week.
Oh, no.
And I just kept thinking, you have a trip in Hawaii coming up.
Yeah, the week out. You get back, and then I go. So we're off. We're not doing a show together for 2 weeks because you're off next week, and then I'm off the week after that.
I know I sound like I'm going a negative way. I would actually argue you might be hitting this perfectly.
I'm hoping.
The rain is all coming in now.
We've been battling illness in our household. We get it through our system.
Yes.
All the rain's out of the way. Everybody's healthy, and we get sunshine. That's what I'm crossing my fingers for.
The last thing I can't imagine having is a Hawaiian rainy vacation the whole time.
It's one thing to go to the coast and have it be a rain, because it's a 2-hour drive.
Yes.
It's a 2-hour drive to get over there, and it's like, whatever, it's raining.
You're prepared for that.
I'm
you
prepared.
know it might happen.
When you're going to Hawaii, you want and expect a tropical vacation.
It better be 70 degrees and sunny.
If it's sub 70 and there's not sunshine, we're going to have some issues.
Well, we're kind of thinking, if the world isn't over, that we might go to Hawaii in August just because of the way the calendar works for us. And we went once in August, and people were like, it's so nice here, and it's so hot there. And I'm like, yeah, but it's guaranteed sunny 80.
It's also the beach. It's also nice weather's nice weather. It's also the beach. It's
the water. I can be in the water.
Swim in the ocean.
Yes.
You can't,
I don't really care personally. I know people are against it, but
warm weather's warm weather, but it also isn't tropical. We don't have palm trees hanging over you, right? There's no luau's going on in our backyard.
It's going to be odd. We're not doing a show together for 2 weeks.
I know, it's very strange.
Anybody going to fill in? You going to get any co-hosts?
Probably not.
Really?
Probably not. We'll free ball it for a week. We'll see what we do.
At least you got all the tournament stuff all week. When you leave, I'm going to be like, baseball's here. Sweet 16 Elite 8.
Yeah, I got opening night next week. Next Wednesday's opening night on Netflix. My Giants are on opening night.
I might get Benetti for you, by the way.
Benetti would be great.
I got to text him today because he called the game yesterday, so I got to text him today.
I just, look, when we get him on, if hopefully we can get him on, I think he's the most underrated broadcaster in all of sports. He's upping his profile slowly. He's getting bigger gigs. He's getting better. Jason Benetti. He's great at baseball. He's great.
Is he underrated, though?
I think he is, because he doesn't have one of those prime... now maybe it's a different conversation because he's going to do NBC Sunday night.
Yeah.
So maybe this goes out the window.
He also does the second
to that,
big game on Fox.
But he does... A lot of them are Friday night games.
Yeah.
He did the Oregon-Minnesota game.
You're right.
It's not... He's not Gus Johnson.
He's debatably the most versatile.
Yes, and he's great at all... And I'm saying he's like a Tigers team guy... But he's not, and now he's going to be one of the national voices, which is great. So I'm just glad he's getting his flowers. It was so fun. He was great yesterday calling the tournament.
And I think he was replacing Brian Anderson because Anderson got sick, as you could tell from the game he called with Vitale and Barkley.
Yes.
Yeah, so you'll have, I think Benetti is going to come on. So you'll have at least Jason Benetti next week to preview the new NBC. I'm excited about that, NBC with a baseball game.
Yeah.
You obviously got the tournament stuff next week, and then I might be coming back to interviews with both Joyner and Shepherd that week.
Yes.
It's kind of how the schedule might break down based on what we've heard. So
getting closer to the start to spring football, be right around the corner. So that will do it for us, everybody. Have a great time off next week with the kiddos for spring break. I'm sure a lot of people will be with you. Getting out of town. Texas Tech with a 6-point lead over Akron, 18-12. 11 minutes to go.
I wanted to say a quick congrats, by the way. I didn't want to forget it. Our guy, Nick Krupke, announced yesterday signed a multi-year extension for season 13 at Fox 12 Oregon. He is the sports director.
He's the best in the market.
And he's also teasing more big league opportunities to come with the Portland. But congrats to Krupke, one of our favorites out there that does television, signing a multi-year deal.
He's a great guy, deserves every penny coming his way. Enjoy the tournament today. Stop by A&A, Tom's Watch Bar. The fan will be live out here all day. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by and saying hello. Good luck to all your brackets and all your gambling picks, and I will talk to you Monday at 6 a.m. The Firm, Harrison Meringue is next. You're listening to 105.1 FM The Fan.